Hey y'all, it's me again, Joey.
Well, ready to let them loose?
Yep, that's it. Let's see if they make us run.
Oh,
Probably so.
yeah, that one tried to get after him, but other than that, what can you expect? I mean, can you blame them? Oh yeah, they're getting after us now. Go, Joey, go!
Hey man!
Hey, man, buddy. I'm gonna get in the truck. You gotta go back and get your camera.
But also, just get as many as you can off the one next to it. Get out.
You gotta move away.
Do that side again. Y'all ready? Let's get started. I look like I'm muted. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. I'm by myself right now, so if anybody wants to click on that link and come on in, you're welcome to. I hadn't been long home myself, been kind of busy. We had a little workshop today at a club not far from me. Went and helped them work on some hives, show beginner beekeepers what to look for and everything. And hadn't been long walked in the door. Let's see who we got in here right now. Randy, Tar Heel Beekeeper, James. Hold on. Let me click on Bill there. Hey, Bill.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. I was just reading off a few names here.
Yeah.
James Noel, Clay Bonner, William Bill. That messes me up every time I see it. I know you by Bill. One day I figured out we got Mike, Keith Spielman. Come on in, Keith. Platform Apiary, Hallelujah Bee Farm, Pastor Larry, Clay. I hope I say this right. Woobling Bees. I always chop that one up. Roy and Todd. Let's see who else has come in since I started reading my list. Randy. Got Randy in here. Well, what you been up to, Mr. Bill?
Oh, went in some hives this afternoon late. Gonna move 2 of them in the morning and checking them out. Finding 2 that I really want to move. So they're going to get moved in the morning. Try to get on some cherries.
Yeah. I tell you, I noticed this same thing last year, and you wouldn't think just a few miles in one direction would make a difference. But that club I went to today to do the field work with them,
Yeah.
it's pretty much east of me, due east, and probably 30 minutes from me.
Yeah.
And the closer I got to them, the greener everything got. Like I say, it's only like a 30-minute ride from here if the traffic's not too bad.
Well, that's not bad at all.
And it, like I say, it just kept getting prettier and greener.
Yeah.
What's up, Michael?
Hey, trying to get my volume to go up so I can hear you better, but phone's not liking me right now.
Oh.
So I'm out in the yard. I've been building stands and messing with bees all day, so I'm waiting for the sun to go down a little bit more before I start moving more of them around. So Figure I'd see what you guys are doing for 10 or 15 minutes before I get started.
Yeah.
You can see behind me, I've been building stands and putting in things on the end, and I'm taking all of them and putting them all over there by myself here in a minute. Just lugging them one at a time. So I had to move a couple this morning that were just fully in my way, and I've been fighting through bee clouds all day because of it. So hoping the sun will hurry up and drop so I can get out here and start hauling these things and be done for the night.
Can you see that link? I mean that Kathy's post I got. You're on your phone, right?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, and since you posted it, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I brought me some home too. Kind of look at my little shed storage area back here behind me. There's some anel hives waiting to go out here, and I've got some defenders and some 7-frame ape maze and some other stuff I jammed in here out of the truck today.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's out here killing time, so I thought I'd see what you guys are doing.
Well, we talking to you right now.
Yeah.
Well, you're not doing anything interesting then.
Yeah.
A lot of that going on around here, killing time, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Man, it was hot here today. So my yard out here, I've got the bees in full sun because of the hive beetles, and that's just how I like to run them. Man, it was 95 yesterday, and I think like 92 or 3 today. I've been sweating my tail off out here working.
Wow.
It's 81-ish, 82 here today, but it wasn't really that bad.
Man,
it really wasn't bad at all.
We're supposed to be in the 90s again tomorrow, and then next week it's like 70 all week. So I've got just about every hive out here is bearding. There's bees all over the place. They think it's summertime.
Huh. Yeah, I've been having to pull some of my entrance reducers out on anything that was solid bottoms.
Well, unfortunately, I was trying to keep my hives not adding anything to them until I got them moved. But a few weeks ago, I had to put an empty medium on almost everything. They were just so crammed for room. So now I've just got all that extra weight to have to move here in a minute. But they were all out of space. I mean, they were all but one of them had to have more space given to them, just to not have to worry about them getting too cramped and swarming.
That's good. When did you say my defender hives are supposed to be here?
They shipped last week.
Okay.
They shipped. The truck got delayed 2 more days than I thought. So I think they shipped out. I shipped them Thursday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I already lost track of the days. They shipped Wednesday or Thursday. They should have sent you tracking. If not, I can find it for you.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll get them sooner or later. That's fine with me.
But yeah, what's it? Whoever said they got theirs on the chat a while ago, they're in Connecticut. So
yeah,
I wouldn't doubt if yours deliver Monday morning.
Probably. That's fine. I'll get them. I'm kind of anxious to get them set up when bees get here Friday. This coming Friday, I think. No, next Friday.
That's me. I'm trying to get the yard rearranged so I can have places to make on my little queen mating system here. So I got my couple defenders I'm dropping, and I picked up some more of the 7-frame ape maze, so I can put a divider in the middle and make 3-frame mating nukes out of them.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I got bees coming.
So I'm trying to set me up an area that's convenient where they're not going to be in my way, since I'll have bees coming out of both directions of them. I don't want to have to put a jacket on every time I come out here to do work.
Come on now, where's your sense of adventure?
I've just been out here now. I've got like a loose little veil that, the veils that have like the elastic that you put under your armpits.
Yeah,
well, I don't ever do that. I just threw the veil. I throw the veil on, just kind of hang loose. That elastic will cut into my arms. And that's usually just that, shorts and flip-flops. That's how I've been working all day. But
I've always cut that off. It gets in the way.
Yeah.
It does sometimes, doesn't it?
Yep. I just pull the veil down good and snug.
Oh, mine's loose. I mean, you can run your hand up under the front of mine. It's just to give me a few seconds warning before they start coming after me to move out of the way. But my beard's a pretty good diffuser. I kind of take the veil and kind of tuck it under my beard. So if they get in, they get kind of hung up in it, and I can kind of
Yeah.
squish them as I walk away.
Yep.
So
That makes it worse
yeah, I've had
when you mash them.
today I've had one that just keeps following me around. I've been trying to catch it and smash it, and I haven't had the chance to catch her yet.
She likes you.
I did get some good video earlier. I was taking a break in the garage. I've got a stack of some wax dip boxes from Greg out there, and I've seen them do it, and I never catch it on video. But I actually got video today of little worker bees sitting on the front of the boxes, scraping wax off of them and putting them on their little pollen basket areas like their pollen.
Yeah.
So I got some pretty good close-up video. I've never been able to catch them long enough. Usually by the time I see them, get my phone and come back, they're gone. But one of them hung out there for minutes at a time today. Dogs barking at neighbor kids walking around. No.
Dogs barking is kind of like grandchildren around me. I hear them so much and they're muted to my ears. Don't pay them that much attention.
Mine usually don't unless there's somebody they want to go play with. So. No. Sun's almost dropping enough. I don't need all the bees to be in. I just would prefer not to be standing in the sun while I do this because these things are heavy and I'm going to move them one shot at a time by myself. No hive lifters. So I just ratchet strap around them and I grab the tops of the straps and just hoist and hope my back holds out to do them all. I think I've got 8 or 9 left I've got to do tonight.
That's a challenge, man.
Now, how far are you going with those?
Well, it's in my so I've butchered my garden and turned it into my full bee yard. So it's not level ground. There's soft spots. There's holes. I'm basically taking them all from over here and shifting them down and putting them all down over there, back and forth. Because when I do my splitting, all my new ones are going to go up front, so I can kind of rotate all my stuff around and make spots for all the defenders and 7 framers and stuff. So yeah, the 2 I moved earlier, I took from the far end and turned them 90 degrees and just moved them over there, and that was fun. And they were 2 of my smaller ones. And then the nail hive, show you. That's going to be the fun one to move because I don't really feel like breaking the stuff down tonight. But I've got to move.
Oh wow!
I got to move that by myself in one shot. So we'll see how that goes.
Wow.
My back hurts just looking at that.
So that one's actually not even going straight behind itself. It's going behind and all over to the back corner. So I'm kind of shifting everything over and back. So that'll be fun.
They really took off in that hive, didn't they?
Yeah, keeping the things fed was fun. They eat, but they build fast. That's so I put I put a medium on everything else out here, but that one I put a medium on top and then I put a deep in the middle, just because they're building so fast, just to make sure they had enough room. That way I could get a jump on splitting them into some of those other nails here pretty quick. And then I got I'm not going to put anything in them for a while. I'm going to do some work on them, but I got a couple of long legs from Tom when I was in St. Louis, just some old used ones he didn't want anymore, just to play around with, and kind of got them on the end where the westward wind to hit them on the short end and not the long. So there's nothing in them right now. I just need them out of my driveway. They've been sitting in the middle of my driveway since St. Louis.
Beekeeping Queen Bee asked, Michael, are you using your deep frames for your honey supers?
Oh no, my back's already too bad for that. I used to, but not anymore. So anymore, what I'm doing is I'm pretty much doing everything as a deep medium brood chamber, but I'm doing small cells. So it's the equivalent of like 2 deeps worth of cells. And then I'm just doing medium supers above excluders. And I'm switching all my supers over to medium drone frames. So that way, draw them out a little bit faster. There's a little bit less walls to build. The hold a touch more honey, not much, but just to get a couple of days quicker getting them drawn out. And since they're all completely different color and they're drones, no matter how tempted I am to rotate them down and use them in brood, I can't. So that'll stop me from robbing for myself and make them for supers only.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's the main reason. If they're all drones, I cannot put them down and use them like that. So I just don't have the option. So that's the only way to keep myself in check.
Yep. I know what you mean.
So everything out here that I'm doing, medium wise, I'm basically building extra frames out. So when I do splits, I'll have deeps and mediums to make the normal setup in my new hives. I'll probably split them equally and, take 5 deeps and 5 mediums out of every one and make a new hive setup and drop my empties in, when they're strong enough to do that.
Yep.
So see how it goes. Wish these things would hurry up and get in so I can stop messing around.
They're not going to be, the sun goes down.
Yeah, the sun's finally off all of them. That's good enough for me to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop off here and go move things, and I'm either going to throw my back out and be laying out in the dark until somebody comes and finds me, or I'll get done pretty quick.
All right, be careful.
I'll catch y'all later, depending on what my back does.
You be careful, man.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
See you later. I tell you, I'm getting where now when I stop and sit in my chair for a little while in the living room, I can't hardly get up and straighten my back up.
Yep.
Straighten my hips up.
Joey, I'm right there with you, buddy.
I used to grab and snatch and jump and climb.
Yeah.
All that's caught up with me.
Yep. It's called abusing your body when you're younger.
Yeah. There's Bob. I was going to ask him. I'll ask him when he comes back. I was going to see if he makes anything similar to the way me and Brad talk about using like a half foundation sometimes.
Yeah.
If he had anything like that. I guess you could use one of his mediums and just throw in there for let the bees build drone frames, drone comb, drone cells. I'll get that right in a minute if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could. Or you could take a piece of plastic foundation and cut it in thirds and leave a third out in the center.
Yeah.
Yep.
What'd you do with old Charlie?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him today. I was on with him Friday night. He looked tired Friday night. I don't know. He looked tired.
I was on there. I was back in the background chatting a little bit. I don't know if he ever saw me in there.
I think he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's he just I don't know.
Yeah, maybe his band has a gig.
It could have.
Yeah.
It could have.
Yeah, we had a pretty good work day today. That it was for beginners, and the guy that's the president of that club, he's actually a commercial beekeeper.
Yeah.
And he called me a while back and asked me if I'd want to do anything with him. I said, sure. And he said, will you work in the field and the beehive showing them what to do? I said, yeah, that'd be better than talking. And he put 3 of us out there. He had several pallets out there, and he put him and 3 more people out there working them, and every like 10, 15 minutes, he wouldn't rotate us, but he would rotate the groups that were with whoever's doing it,
Yeah.
and he just rotated everybody around where everybody could see everybody working the bees at least once. But I thought that was a good way to do it.
Yeah, it is a good way to do it. That's a really good way to do it.
Yep. And it's the first time I ever worked what's supposed to be pretty much, if there is such a thing, full Italians. I mean, not Italians, full Russians.
Yeah.
I told him I liked his bees better than I do my Italians. When I get my Italians mad at me, they stay mad for a long time.
They do, don't they?
Yeah, them Russians are pretty cool, or his were.
Yeah, they kind of do what they're going to do and then forget about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good day. We got out there and I told everybody, I said, y'all got a question, ask up. If you see something on that frame, you don't know what it is. And even if I'm showing you this and you see something else, ask me. And
Yeah.
it went real good.
That's the only way they're going to learn is to ask questions.
Yeah. Speak of the devil.
There he is.
He heard us talking about him.
Yeah, he did. His ears were burning.
Yeah. I tell you, I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna find somebody else that's got Italians, and I keep saying Italians. Mine's Italian mutts, but I'm gonna find somebody else that has Russians and go work them and see what they're like in their yard.
There are a lot of guys with Russians around here.
Everybody.
If you get down around Stanton and up north, and around Strasburg, there's a lot of Russian breeders, Russian owners up there.
Yeah.
And they love them. They get a lot of honey off of them.
Hey, Brian.
I've got some Italian bees here. They're kind of like yours, Italian mutts. And you make them mad, you might as well forget about going in there for 3 or 4 days afterwards.
Yeah, they don't forgive you real quick.
No, they don't. But I've only got a couple hives of them, and the Italians to me are lazy. They wait till the last minute to do anything. I mean, I don't know if that's the experience that you've got with them or not, but
Well, now I don't know what I really got. I call them Italians because that's usually what's everybody has around here.
Yeah.
Or at least what they think they have. So whatever mine mate with every year, that's what I got. And they just build up too hard, too fast to me.
What, the Russians?
No, the
Italians.
Yeah, I know. I had Russians, and they're a totally different bee as far as the characteristics, I guess you would call it. They, as soon as the weather does not come on. They if the nectar's not coming in, they shut down. Hey,
Yeah.
Ian. And I don't know. I just never got. I wasn't used to that characteristic where I had Italians at the time, but I got Carnies now, so they do pretty good. So, did you do anything in the bee yard today, Bill, or did you just work the store?
I did. I went down and checked out 3 or 4 hives. I picked out 2 of them. I'm going to move over to the store for the year to use as teaching bees. So they're getting moved in the morning.
Hey, Joe.
And took care of a few pests around here.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I went through all mine this afternoon.
I got one crawfish queen there, Eric. She walked backwards.
Ian's
Say what?
Got it on video.
Ian's
She
got a
walked
nice.
backwards.
Yeah, I got about 3 videos ago. One of the highs I went into, that queen was walking backwards everywhere she went. That was weird. I think the sun was kind of messing her up. She was trying to get away from it.
Yeah.
I got to figure out what hive that was and see if she's still doing it.
Yeah, Roy. Ian's got no power. He's on generator.
Uh-oh.
He's got an ice storm up there running his. I don't think you'd have to have the coolers running now.
Huh. I was watching his video. He said he's tired of snow. Imagine that.
Imagine that. That's why he got more snow, because he said that.
Yeah. And he kicked it. I think he kicked it when he said that.
But
I'll be out in a minute.
I'm gonna go grab a shower.
Okay.
anyway, I checked the juice jars, and some of them were empty and whatever, and checked the bees. I actually kind of dug into them a little bit today to see what kind of brood. I got some nice looking brood in there.
Yeah.
And all the strong hives. I got one there. I got a queenless hive. I dropped a frame of eggs into that. I checked my paper. It was a 24 queen that I didn't get replaced. So that doesn't surprise me. And then I got the one that, remember that it made a queen and all that. Well, that one there seems to be queenless, I think. I need to go back and condense it down to 1 or 2 boxes. And
you know what a commercial beekeeper told us the other day?
What?
And he's been doing this. He's probably in his 50s. He's been doing this all his life. He grew up in it. You hear us talk about him a lot. He's learned that, like an old queen like you talking about, and you thinking about replacing her, he's learned when you got a cell that's just about ready to emerge, just put it in the top of that hive, close it up, and walk away. He said a lot of times they'll leave that cell alone, and that queen will emerge, and she'll go kill that old queen and take over. That come from a commercial guy.
I don't know. I'd
like to see it done.
I
I'd
would
like
have
to have an old queen that's marked and put one in there like that and see what happens.
Yep.
Just to see what happens.
so did you notice our guest last night, Bill, in the chat?
Which one?
That big commercial beekeeper that was popped in?
Yeah, I saw that.
80?
Yep. I saw that.
Yeah, he was hauling 20 tractor and trailer. He already had 5 trailers out.
Yeah, he had 15 more to get out.
You got 20,000 hives coming out of California.
Yeah.
He is big then. I thought Darren was big. He's got like 11,000.
This is the 80 family. The 80 family is the biggest beekeeper in the United States.
Yep.
They got 100,000 hives. Or at least that's
Can you imagine what their payroll looks like?
Can you imagine how much money they make off of pollination? Well, there's
That's
a new commercial beekeeper in
a whole
Virginia.
another world of beekeeping like that.
Yeah, I don't know. What I was going to tell you.
Philip.
I don't know. He said Frank Sutton. I think Frank must have said something about the show. That's why he was on there. Because he said he talked to Frank and this other guy. I recognize the name, but I don't know who the person is. Not a commercial guy. what kind of irritated me was wanted to check the pulse of the backyard beekeepers. I'm like, we're not backyard beekeepers, we're sideliners.
Yeah, really.
There's a difference.
Yep, there's a huge difference. Yeah.
Everybody wants to. I don't know. They always say 50 hives for sideliner. I says it isn't the number of the hives; it's the financial aspect of it. If you're commercial, you're making your total living out of the bees. Hey, Lee, good to see you.
Hey, Lee.
And then if you're a sideliner, it's a sideline business, so you're making a, what would you say, a partial income out
Yeah,
of it.
it's a supportive income to what you normally make
A
otherwise.
subsidiary income, a side hustle, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And if you're a backyard beekeeper, it's a hobby. You don't make any money out of it.
I know one guy, he still calls himself a hobbyist. Now he's dropping down now. But when I first met him, he kept around 200 hives. And he said, I'm a hobby beekeeper.
Yeah. Todd Mendez. I don't recognize that name. I mean, I recognize it. I'm not.
Frank
Mendez. Mm-hmm. He might have been in one of the other videos years ago, back when they had the CCD thing. They were trying to figure it out.
Hobby Liner, DC's got it right there.
When
Hobby Liner.
But Mendez, I was thinking about the guy up in family up in Vermont or someplace. Started with an M like that. He was into sting therapy.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of that. He's dead now, but.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Mraz.
Yes, Mraz. So there's a new commercial guy that moved into Southwest Virginia a couple years ago. I just found out about it today. Matter of fact, I talked to him about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago on the phone and didn't realize he was in Virginia.
Was it that guy that bought all them frames from me that one time?
No, this is a new guy. His family is out of Pennsylvania, and he broke off from his family and started his own gig. And he carries truckloads of bees to California every year, and he also does blueberry pollination on the East Coast.
Blueberry?
So, yeah, I talked to him for 20 minutes or so the other night on the phone. He's got 3,200 nukes for sale.
Hey, Rick.
Off the bees that came back from California.
Where's he at in Virginia?
Southwest Virginia.
Like, give me a county or a...
Near Roanoke.
Oh, okay.
Down that way. He might be even below Roanoke. The phone number came up as a Roanoke phone number.
I was kind of, is that I guess what I'm asking is I think when you're in the bee business, don't you usually like to have a certain type of lay of the land for something like that?
Yeah. And I mean, him coming on and, like he put it, checking the pulse of the hobbyist beekeeper. I mean, like you said, we're not all hobbyists, but they do have a, they do need to know what's going on with us. I mean, just like we need to know what's going on with them. We need to be able to talk to them.
Rick says Big Mike got awarded the Beekeeper of the Year award in New Hampshire today.
Huh.
You know who that is, Bill, right? Big Mike from the party. Well, actually on talk shows too.
He comes on your lives a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I figured he'd be popping in here for long. He usually comes on mine too. Bill, I was trying to find your name, see if I've made you a moderator yet.
Well, evidently you didn't, because I'm trying to send DC
Uh,
a
Text something
response.
in the chat where I can find your name. I'm gonna make you one.
There you go.
Yeah, let me get over here to it.
So anyway, I got fixed that one hive. I don't know, maybe fix the other one. But most of them are all good and populated. Definitely you can tell, you got fresh queens in there.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference. And
Yeah, 1-year-old queen's not too bad if she was a good one to start with.
Yeah.
But they start getting spotty after that second year.
I watched a Man Lake video here a couple of days ago. It was called Management of the Queens or something like that. And it's some doctor lady out of one of them colleges. And she was talking about, hey, Pete, and talking about the sperm. I'll say there was like 3 million sperm in the beginning, when a fresh queen, brand new queen. After the first year, I think it drops like down to like 1 million sperm. And then she was talking about that queen uses anywhere from 3 to 5 sperm per egg. And then she showed a video, or not a video, but photographs of where the sperm is in a circle and it spins like crazy, like a top. And she said that's when they're young. And then as the sperm gets older, it starts going like a long piece of thread. And no, I haven't seen any drones, and I got drone frames out there are fully capped. I'll be having some drones pretty soon. And all.
I caught some drones today showing those beginners how to catch a queen to mark them. The drones showed them how to practice one with them.
But anyway, that was quite interesting. Basically, so let's see, beekeeping queen bee. Where are you located at? I haven't got you on my list.
Charlie's got his list out, Joey.
Yeah. I'm going to have to bribe him to send me a copy of that one day.
I bet you if you give him one of those suckers like you had down there at the dinner, he'd send it to you.
I think I got one of them.
I sent him a whole pack of.
So ever since you showed my wife those things down there at that dinner, she's bound and determined she's going to learn how to make them.
If she has any questions, I can put her in contact with the lady that makes them.
Yeah, she's just trying to get the quote unquote recipe down now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she'll probably want to know temperatures and all that stuff to heat it up to and everything to get it to harden up like that, like candy. She'll want all that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So when she gets to that point, I'll let you know.
And I tell you, those things, that sucker, that lasts a long time when you start eating it.
Yeah,
It
no,
don't dissolve real fast.
no, it
It,
doesn't.
it will in coffee, but just eating it, it'll
Yep.
last a long time.
Hey, Brad.
That's one of them, what they call an all day sucker.
Yeah. Before I forget, I want to tell everybody I probably will start uh, next Saturday at 7:30 because it's so daylight still at 7. A lot of people around probably still out moving about, working,
Well, it's
working late.
8 o'clock here and it's dark. But now I went through all the hives. Everybody looks pretty darn good for the most part, except for those 2 hives. And then everybody's got a juice jar on them. And then I brought in all the shims. I took all the shims off the tops of the hives. And I found, well, I had some scraps of pollen patties on there. Some of them had a couple of them, where the darn hive beetles are starting to lay eggs and larvae in there. So I
Hey, Grammy.
pulled them things out and squashed them and threw them on the ground.
Now, Kathleen, I got to ask, how did you figure that out? They come up to your swarm box or something?
Hey, Lisa. So, been putting bee bites on. The hives that had them on there already, they've been tearing them up.
Yep. I
Most
have
of
been
them,
tearing them up too. So
most of them getting a half a pound, but if they got a big hive, I give them a whole pound.
he's back. At least he didn't throw his back out yet.
Yeah, he's not bending over and he's smiling.
Well, I thought I'd check in real quick and tell you I'm still alive. As you can see, I'm still geared up because they can still see and they are not happy because I forced everything over, just picking it up, leaning against my leg, crab walking. I got it there until I got to that nail hive, and I went to lift it and just started laughing. No way. So
You're gonna have to break that down.
I went over and I broke 2 mediums off the top of the 2 deeps, and it was everything I could to move the 2 mediums. They already filled up the 1 medium full, and then the deep under it that I put on, they filled up the second one full already.
Well,
So
I'm glad you're happy with that hive.
Yeah, I could barely move, and of course, pulling them apart, they all flipped out on me. But I got them moved. I'm alive. As soon as I sit down, I won't be able to move for the rest of the night. But
Yeah.
thought I'd say, hey, I'm alive in case anybody's curious before I start cleaning up.
Yeah, we were wondering about you.
If you buy you one of these.
Yeah, I got a whole another day out here tomorrow to do work, so we'll see how that goes. No, it's still, mine fly until it's like dark. So they're still pouncing my head, my hands, and everything right now. So, all right. So anyway, I'm alive. The nail hive's booming. I couldn't move the stupid thing. Even broken half, I couldn't barely move the stupid thing. So I'll get out of here and I'll see y'all later.
All right.
Bye.
Now the nail hive, is the hive by itself, like per box, is it heavier than a wooden box or about the same?
It's maybe a pound heavier.
That thing was just loaded up then.
Yeah, it's loaded up. I'm sure when he was telling me about it, that the bees were taking off in it and everything else. And then he sent me a picture of it earlier, and it just had a deep and a medium on it. And now it's got 2 deeps and 2 mediums, and you're not going to move it by yourself. Not those Enel hives when they're loaded up like that.
Yeah.
No.
Sounds like to me his is bringing all kinds of honey in.
Yeah.
Okay. Did Kathleen give me an answer? I'm trying to see.
I haven't seen one yet.
I guess it was just happenstance. She figured it out.
What's that?
She made a comment about deer being drawn to lemongrass.
Mm. I know one thing. I put quart jars on. I think it was Thursday. I made that video Thursday. I guess it was, and made up a little bit of Hive Live sugar water. And I put those quart jars on 2 or 3 of those hives out there. I guess it was 3 of them. And they sucked them down by the day. I was surprised. But I can say that, like, global patties, of course, the maples have bloomed, so they're not interested in that kind of stuff at all. But seemed like they like the bee bites.
Yep, they do.
Well, I mean, they're not, quote, pollen patties either.
Right. They're looking for that something extra, something different, you know.
It's got all the other stuff that's in there, the probiotics and
Yeah, because they can get pollen anywhere now.
There's the honey spoon man right there.
Who?
Bill was talking about his wife trying to figure the honey spoons out.
Yeah.
That's Jeff and Laurel.
Yeah, I think we met. You introduced me to him.
Yeah, he was at the dinner.
Yeah. But they like you got CBD extract and you got Apis Spy, rocket fuel and probiotics. I had to get another box of bee bites. I think I got 3 pads left out of that. Some of them got a half patty, and some of them, the big highs, I went ahead and gave them a whole patty.
That's a good answer, Bill.
It's the truth. I mean,
yeah, it's almost like fishing.
Yeah, if you don't put too much lemongrass oil in it, you may get some really quick. If you've got too much in it, you won't get any at all.
It'd run them away.
Yeah, it'll run them off.
Yep, exactly, Keith.
Yep. Patience.
That all those bees around that one swarm box I had, they ain't everything shut out. They ain't a bee box, swarm box I got hanging with bees messing with it right now. We're going through that little dip that me and Mike talk about all the time, where we get our little flow building up and then all of a sudden it just crashes for a week or 2.
Yep.
That's about what's happening right now.
Yep.
Tell her, hey, Mama, for me, Philip. We'll behave if she'll behave.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that you, Jeff? What's up?
I ain't showing no rear ends. I thought I'd join in here. I heard you mention me.
Knock
Yeah.
that night bot out of there, Joey.
Yeah.
There we go.
Mu-
What's that? That must be my cousin down in Mississippi.
It is.
Well, all the Thomases down here claim they're not kin to none of the other Thomases, Charlie.
Is that right?
They don't, none of them claim each other. And there's thousands of them.
Well, that's like up here. We got my family's from the Carolinas and in the Virginia, well, mostly Carolinas. And there's Thomases up here. I said, no, they're Northern Thomas. We're not related to them.
Yeah. But see, you know what it is. You know the old saying is, right, Joey? You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your family.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Hey, that website is livestrong.com where my wife got the recipe from.
livestrong.com.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Honey spoons for a tea party.
Okay.
That's what you're going to search.
All right. Thank you.
But they can get a hold of her anytime they want to, too, if they
Okay.
want to call. We don't mind telling anybody. But I got a batch of creamed honey going, Joey, that I think is going to be the creamiest that I've had come out yet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Josh, you know what?
I'm
Am
gonna
I
let
going to
you-
have to come get some?
You're going to have to try some.
I'm gonna plug in my phone and we're gonna call Miss Mavia.
Joey, I hate to come in and run, but the wife just has been home for a little bit, and I haven't seen her since early this afternoon. So I'm going to jump off here.
Okay. Appreciate
See
you
y'all
coming
later.
in, Bill.
See you
Yeah.
later, Bill.
Bye.
So I had to put my reading glasses on. I can't see.
That's me. I don't hardly use the thing unless I got to see something close up.
I think I had this problem last time. I couldn't see the comments or
You on your phone or tablet?
iPad, tablet.
Hmm.
It may not show up.
Yeah, if I don't have my glasses on, I can't read those comments.
I was trying to see if I could see it on there.
But yeah, Charlie, when I was in high school, I dated a girl. Her grandmother was a Thomas. And a lot of those Thomases that claimed they wasn't kin,
Yeah.
her grandmother, we'd go to the Thomas reunion and see all the Thomases there. And then we'd go to her grandmother's father's side of the family, which was Shillings. And some of those same Thomases would be over there. But none of y'all kin.
We trace ourselves back. I mean, come through North Carolina, but
Yeah.
Christopher Thomas, Rochester, England, was a shoemaker. I think either 1604 or 1406, something like that.
I don't know about ours.
You see that comment?
Yeah. Hey, Josh. Somebody said hey to you. He could. I don't know what he's over there telling his mama he's hungry.
Uh-huh.
It's
Serious times right now, then.
that's Philip from out there in Texas.
Your Texas buddy's telling you hey. I sent him a picture last Saturday. We was at a Hill Hardware up there in Columbia, sitting out on the sidewalk, introducing everybody to our creamed honey, and I put Philip's 2.5 foot riser up on there. I tell you what, that worked out awesome.
Yep. I don't even do markets, and I started to buy one.
I think I'll probably pick up another one.
I've been saying I'm going to do the markets around here, but I end up having something to do on Saturday all the time.
I'm retired. I got to try to catch every one of them. 3 weeks in right now.
Hmm.
What'd you retire from, Jeff?
AT&T. I was a service technician with them for 20 years, 20 and a half years.
Right.
I didn't start till late. It'd been nice if I started at 30 instead of 40. But it is what it is. It's been good to us.
So you worked a lot on the internet end of it too, didn't you?
Internet, dial tone. If you stuck a post hole digger in the ground or an auger and cut the cable, dig it up and fix it.
Yeah, seen that happen.
Yeah.
I seen them. I seen them out at that prison. They didn't even. I'm the maintenance director now, and they didn't even call me and tell me they gonna put a fence up. And the first post they drilled to 1,000 pair.
Yeah.
I said, y'all can't blame that one on me. Had all kind of pretty little colors started coming out of that ground.
If they pull a post hole digger out or an auger or a backhoe, they'll find a phone line out in the middle of a field.
Yeah, that's the easy way to find them.
Yeah. Old guy said he had a backhoe. He said, old man told him that there's nothing out here. This is 20 or 30 yards off the road. And he said, there ain't never been nothing out here. He said the second thing he stuck it in there, he dug up the cable. I seen somebody say something about telephony, but I didn't.
Yeah, that was Brad.
Back office. Yeah, okay.
I know my cousin, he was digging something somewheres, and he had Miss Utility come out and mark the area. And they said, yeah, over here are all these different lines and whatever. And he said, well, this is where I'm digging. Yeah, you're fine. And sure enough, and all you didn't do, I said, well, wait a minute, buddy. You said, there's all your marks and poles, and I'm 25 feet away from where you said everything was at.
I've seen them flag so much you couldn't tell what was going where. It was so crazy.
They so much in the ground in some places. I don't know how they.
Yeah.
They bored up there in Columbia one time, and believe it or not, they took that. He didn't know he done it. He should have went and bought a lottery ticket. He went between two cables and didn't cut either one of them, and we didn't. Nobody knew it till we had to dig that green box up, and we dug down about 2 foot. We were trying to figure out why we can't pull up on the cable. It's because it had another one going right between the two of them. Fiber optic cable. Never touched them. I figured he would have cut them in half.
Yeah.
1,000 pair.
Yeah. They when they cut this one, they was there a few days.
Oh yeah. Fiber's more expensive too.
Yeah.
For us, copper's going away though. So.
Well, it has to keep all them people from stealing it from you.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do in a few years. There won't be none of it.
I don't know. We got line here coming to the house. It's copper to our business line because they don't offer the same exchange through fiber. Now the house phone, I got fiber where it comes to the house and the television and all that stuff all on one system. So I guess we'll have to change your phone number or go out of business, one of the two by that time.
We're offering a box that works off the cell tower, keep the same phone number. So Joey, did you try to call me today? I don't mean to ask you on here.
Yeah. I'd already forgot about that. I went to that field day or the workshop they had in Poplarville for the beginners.
Okay.
And there was somebody there from Tylertown wanting some nukes, wanting a nuke or two. And I was calling you to see if you knew anybody. I'm kind of full up right now. If I get any names now, it's going to be a waiting list.
Yeah. Darren will probably have some. I know Dylan Kelly a house, huh?
Dylan. I couldn't think of that boy's
Yeah.
name.
I went
Dylan.
up there and bought some last year mated queens from him a while ago and put them out. I'm gonna try to get a jump on this with mated queens.
Yeah.
Hopefully, anyway, that's my idea about it.
How many colonies he running?
Uh, he told me he was about halfway through, and he said that was about 10,000. He said he's trying to get to 18. So
18,000 colonies.
they was taking a break and eating some crawfish tonight, but
Huh.
I don't think them Guatemalans has had crawfish.
Uh, he'll have
Uh,
them hooked then. He'll have to get them crawfish every Friday or Saturday.
oh yeah. But he said, yeah, their goal is to get up to 18,000 before they leave here. So
And where are they going to go with it? Out the,
he bought out a company called Ag Pollen, and then they bounced from. They're coming in from the almond orchards, and he'll leave here and go to North Dakota.
what's up in North Dakota?
I don't know, but they all like going there.
Huh.
They got canola and clover and alfalfa up there. I think
Yeah.
some kind of sunflower.
I know. When I drove through it a couple of different times on vacation, and I don't know what their distance is. It seemed like it might have been like every 5 miles, but you'd see a yard of bees every 5-10 miles or whatever. Just a big yard of bees out in fields forever.
I guess maybe that sweet clover they talk about that, which is a yellow looking plant. I think.
I guess.
I know he gave me a bottle of that clover honey, and oh my goodness, I hated to tell him it was good, but it was good.
I mean, there's a yellow clover, and then there's white clover that I'm thinking of, which doesn't make a lot of honey. And the Dakotas, I don't know whether they do a lot of irrigated alfalfa out that way or not.
Three. I hate to touch these three dots. I was trying to see if I could see the comments, but I hate to mess anything up.
You can't see the comments?
I cannot. I mean, when somebody pops one up, I can see it, but
You may have to turn your iPad sideways. See it.
I can't see like
Oh.
I can't see everybody's. No, that
Oh,
didn't
you
help.
were already parallel sideways.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's see what them three dots can do. I'll be back if that kicks me out.
See what Brad said. Oh, kicked himself out. Yeah, Darren, the commercial guy was talking about earlier, he said that he works all the way up close to the Canadian border. He could actually see the cameras the Canadians have up on their border looking out.
Oh yeah.
The border, he could see their cameras. He said they'll wave at him. He's back.
I guess I am. I don't know.
Lots of yellow clover in North Dakota. Yep. Okay.
I think I made it back.
You see
Yep.
the chat off to your right.
Now I got all the chats right down the middle of the screen, and y'all kind of grayed out, but I can see.
Okay. We don't need to see us. You can see the chats. That's better.
Yeah. There we go. So somebody was telling us what they had up there. Lots of yellow clover out there.
Yeah.
Brad says they're Chinese cameras.
Yeah.
He's probably right.
Dandelion starting.
I don't know what he's saying.
It's a Chinese camera in this iPad.
Huh. My YouTube side keeps lagging. It gets way behind.
Okay, Russell. Okay, thanks. And that's I'm keeping track, I guess. So Joe, are you through?
Huh?
Are you through with all your splitting and stuff?
I've got a few I hadn't done yet, and last time I looked at them, they were way behind everybody else. So I'll probably try to do them maybe tomorrow or Tuesday.
Well, I can tell you something I learned in the last 2 days. Those highs down there on W.O. Turner's Road are ahead of the ones up here. So uh, just a 10
Yeah,
or
that's
15 mile distance.
that's only what, about 5 miles through the woods from me.
Yeah. Loaded with queen cells and swarming. These up here hadn't even thought about it yet.
Hmm. I had cups on the bottom of several hives, nothing in them. I had one that had several charged, actually about half grown, and I got where I wasn't seeing anything, so I got sloppy, and I kind of slid the box sideways before I stood it up, and it messed several good swarm cells up. So I didn't get to salvage none of them. I knew they wasn't. Look at there. Figured he'd gone to bed by now. But I'd messed them up, so I just tore them all down. I knew they wasn't going to be able to salvage them.
Good night, Mr. Head.
Huh. Come back and see us, Jeff.
So, Rick, where are you located at? Well, I guess he's up there north there with Big Mike. That's right.
I talked to Shawi. He was at the meeting Thursday night,
Oh, yeah.
and he's going to try to come on maybe next weekend if he can. He couldn't do it tonight because he had a wedding to go to. So maybe we can be blessed with Shawi one of these weekends. His health's getting a little bit better.
Well, I had medical problems.
Yeah, he's had a few ailments the last couple of years. Let's see what that's for. Oh, anybody else want to come in with us and get something started here? Come on in.
Yeah.
The link's pinned.
Well, talking about queen cells, I was going to get rid of one and broke it open, and she ran out, and I had the frame about a foot above the hive. She went bloop right down in there and took off.
You know, I did the same thing. It's been several years. I don't even do this no more. But the mentor that taught us uh, how to split the way we do, uh, he would go through, if it had several cells, he would knock all the stubby ones down. And I had one that, compared to all the others, it looked stubby. And I just bumped it with my hive tool, and I just happened to hit the very end of it. And that queen come running out of there, and she was moving.
Yeah.
And I caught her with my clip, and I caught her, and I got to looking. Here goes I think I caught 6 or 7 that day running around in that hive. As soon as I bumped that sail, I think she already had it open. She was just getting ready to push out.
Yeah.
But I
What
said,
you doing?
I ain't knocking no more down. I'm gonna keep them all. Do what, Charlie?
I mean, I see Bracken's on tonight. I was just gonna say, hey.
Hey, Bracken. Yeah, he could come in. He could get something started, couldn't he?
Yeah, he's out there in Utah. Let us know what's happening.
Yeah.
I guess he's getting these bees back from California pretty soon.
Okay. Let's see. Escaped bees. I guess he's talking about
A swarm.
feral bees. Yeah, swarm. I just hang big old boxes up on, put a little lemongrass and some old comb in there and hope for the best. I
Hey,
got
Russell.
plenty of videos on it on my YouTube channel.
Hey, Russell. Come on.
Heard Mike.
Hey everyone,
I hear
on, buddy?
Congratulations are in order.
thank you. That
Hey,
was
Mike.
pretty exciting.
Was that
How you doing, Jeff?
Was
Oh,
that the-
doing good.
local bee club, Big Mike?
No, the state club.
Oh, that's even better.
All right, Josh and I are gonna go to Smucky's and eat dinner.
Are you like on the board on that state club or anything? Or
No, I'm just a member. You got to be a member 5 years, and then you get voted in, I guess.
as a member?
No, in order to be eligible to even be the beekeeper of the year,
Oh,
you have
all
to be a member of the state bee
Yeah.
club for 5 years. They
Yeah.
have like 3 gatherings: a spring, a summer, and a fall.
Stay here.
Yeah.
And they have usually a pretty good speaker.
Yeah. Oh my.
What's your bees doing? Staying in the box?
Oh, they're flying on the days they can.
Okay, are they?
Still have ice on the ponds, Joey,
Yeah,
and some snowbanks.
I would
And-
imagine so.
And on the north sides of like a hill, you'll see a little bit of snow in the woods. But they're talking we may get some more.
Me and my wife went to, I think it was second or third graders, last Monday. Did a little bee thing for them at school. They had just finished up uh, their curriculum for like pollination and insects and stuff. And we usually follow behind that with the honeybees. Are you there, Brad? There he is.
There he is.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, everybody. Howdy.
What's up? So it's Chinese cameras, huh?
Oh, just, yeah, I think so, probably. You never know.
Yeah. Come think about it. That's
yeah,
what I
that's
got
what
on
I'm told
my
anyway,
house.
that in the summer, the North Dakota border is lined up with bees getting that Canadian canola duty free.
Yeah. Yeah, he says he's so close to the border, he can see those cameras out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure they had cameras. Canada probably took up a
They may
collection
be the property
to
owners
buy
right there
some
on the
cameras.
line. There's no telling.
They might be dummies. For
Could
knowing
be.
Canada, there may be decoys.
Could be.
Jeff, you still making the honey spoons?
We are. Like
I really
crazy.
enjoyed them. Thank you.
Well, thank y'all. Joey had a good idea of bringing them up there. But
Yeah,
we
but
get.
they last forever.
Oh yeah. We get orders all the time for them. There's a big dairy festival down here every June, and we've got everybody used to them in our local area.
Y'all still ain't let me pay for them things.
Nah, it was good advertisement. See, everybody's talking about it.
Yeah. What happened, y'all? They wasn't gonna be able to go to the expo. I said, well, if you're not going, I want to buy some honey spoons from you and pass them out to my friends up there. And they ended up going. Hey, John.
Hey, John.
Hey,
So
John.
we both passed them out, but I wanted to pay for them still. John, I wore one of my new shirts the other day. Everybody liked it. Mike Bear says he's going to buy one.
Russell looking for a snow update. There's plenty of snow here still. Not much melting going on yet. I mean, we had melting, but I can only see the ground where I've already cleared the snow and it's cleared off. So,
Ian said he had an ice storm up there.
I don't know what he got today.
That's what he said.
Said it was raining earlier on, but not going to get above freezing temperatures again for a week now. So, but by the look of the long-term forecast, it'll be about a week tomorrow. You know, thereabouts, that I take my bees out if things hold.
How is your bees outside? Have you looked at them much?
I was out there, I don't know what it was yesterday. It was yesterday I was out there. It was sunny and warm, so there was quite a bit of flight. I think I've got a 25 or 30% loss out there. But we'll have something to work with, right?
Yeah. You figure that loss is because of normal stuff, or?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm sure it's not mites this year. I always have a bad time with poopy hives in the spring.
Well, they're so locked up so long in your area.
Well, that's true. So that can happen pretty easily, but it doesn't have to be the case, right? Ian sees a little bit of it, but not as much as I see it just about universally. There's poop everywhere. The inside ones are poopy now. The outside ones are kind of poopy. I'll know more when I open them up. If there's poop inside, then it's really bad.
Well,
so I don't know.
That's nosema, right?
No, it's not. Well, I mean, nosema is a separate issue. And the nosema.
I know that you use Hive Alive in your syrup. I was wondering whether that would help the situation.
No, I didn't use any Hive Alive since last spring.
Okay.
I didn't put anything in my syrup for quite a few years now. Just looking for solutions, right?
Well, they talk about, I read some article or science papers about it, and it talks about reducing the nosema spores within the bees.
Yeah, well, nosema spores aren't my problem as far as my lab tests go.
Hmm.
The lab counted very low nosema count, and yet still poop. So
Yeah, I don't think
uh,
they're real. I mean, they used to be related, but I don't think it's quite related anymore.
nosema cerana, yeah, there's no science that shows a correlation between a nosema infection causing dysentery. It's transmissible by dysentery. The spores exist in the poop,
Yeah.
but there's no research showing that it's caused by a nosema infection.
Yeah, I don't know. I had one hive out there that the landing board right there, at the, it's got like a 4-inch entrance hole, and it was quite, cruddy there on one of my hives this year, but didn't seem to be too, didn't translate to anything bad.
Russell brings up a good point. He says, "Does Ian's bees have more sugar or honey to overwinter, less ash?" And you're absolutely right to think along that line, because that's something that we battle with, and that's why we can't winter on honey. That's why pure sucrose syrup is the best thing to winter bees, for exactly those reasons. So I'm always looking at that, but I don't think there was much honey in the brood chamber when I started to feed. My fall management is very similar as far as feeding goes, and all that, all those related things, is exactly the same as what Ian's doing. Um, I run singles through the honey flow. So really, singles through the honey flow, what that kind of amounts to is they eat everything that's in the brood chamber. Oh, Ian's power was out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bad day for that.
He had a generator run for about the last. Well, he told us, I guess, a half an hour more ago.
So, yeah, I always consider that. But again, when you run singles through the honey flow, uh, they uh, they clean everything out of that brood chamber. There's such a big colony, and they eat a lot.
Right.
So there's not much left in there. Certainly not the initial amount of feed that they would be using in the winter. That's sugar syrup. That's sucrose. So I'm always aware of that, but I'm not convinced that it's the primary issue. I
Mm.
even last fall, I filled my big tank right full of bleach water, let it sit for a couple of days, and drained it out, rinsed it. I bleached. I left bleach water overnight in all of my feed pails just to freshen everything up.
What do you think, that the dysentery is a fungal problem within the gut of the bee?
I'm grasping straws, just trying to make sure everything's clean, right?
Yeah.
That's why I stopped using. I was using for a couple of years. I was using some fall syrup additives that I believe in, but I stopped using everything just to reduce the variables. And I need to solve this before I start then adding things back in.
I don't think the comb, Ian, would be. I don't think that would have a problem.
It actually is. My comb is very clean. I rotate comb pretty aggressively. A lot of the comb that goes into my brood chambers in the summer is last year's honeycomb, so it's never had brood in it.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm doing the probiotics this year to see whether that helps with overall bee production and whatever. I mean, I can tell right now the hives. I went through them today, and they all got June queens in from last year, and I'd missed a couple of them. and I got one 24 queen that's going like gangbusters. I got another one there that I got into it, and it was queenless, and it was a 24 queen, but it failed. I put a frame of eggs in that one, see if they can make a queen here in the next month. And the other one there is another queenless hive. It was queen right going into the winter. It was one of them late fall queens that probably didn't get mated very well. And so it's queenless. I didn't do much to that when I was getting tired and just kind of ran out of gas. I got a more or less what do you call it? Not combined, but downsize the high. Take the boxes off and condense them.
So Russell said something that, yes, I've considered as well, and I haven't addressed it to know if that's an issue or not. He said when Ian's flows over, he's nothing around for the bees to feed on. Sometimes he has a little bit of something or other like sunflower. But I have more of a natural area, some late flowers. Kind of. Not real late, though. Probably not past Labor Day. And I'm usually not feeding until after Labor Day anyway. But yeah, that's something to consider for sure, because that is a difference.
I don't know. I put some juice jars out that I put that hive alive in this week, and 3 days later they had sucked all that down. I'm like, man, I don't know what the deal there that was.
Well, maybe I needed to put hive alive in my feed for the fall, Charlie, and just kind of roll the dice and see if it makes a difference.
The thing I could think of is that it had lemongrass. Part of it's got lemongrass in it, and thymol and the other stuff. But I don't know whether that made a difference. That lemongrass made it sweeter tasting for them, or what. I don't know.
I'm open to suggestions. I mean, I kind of am concentrating more on the subtractive side than additive, right? Not just jumping to adding a bunch of product.
Well, you got it down to where you're just doing regular white sugar.
Yeah, and
your hives don't have any canola in there because they can't eat it anyway. It gets hard.
There's no canola in my area. Yeah, Russell gets a couple of cleansing flights, which makes all the difference. So yeah, it's it's a challenge.
As far as I don't know what Ian's talking about. What we're talking. I don't know. I don't think that the being poopy hives has anything really to do with sprays or anything around. You're not around that kind of stuff.
Not lots of that around here at all. Not at all. I mean, there's a phenomenon where if the feed that they store isn't capped, if it's not sealed, if that sits open too long, it'll ferment, and that doesn't just cause poop though. That kills the bees. They eat that and they're dead. So I don't know. It's when they come out of winter, they don't have a lot of open feed at all. It's a mystery. It's a mystery I've been dealing with for most of 10 years.
Well, Norman, about the 25%. Well, the last couple of years, Brad's been dealing with 100%, pretty much, or 99%.
Well, that 1 year, anyway, I've had some serious losses.
Yeah, the last 2 or 3 years have been fighting it hard. It's been getting better.
24 was the bad year. A really bad year. It was a miracle year. Sure have a lot of people to thank for that. But yeah, last year was kind of tough too. Last year was a perfect storm because I had some colony losses, but then the spring drought meant that my summer forage really never appeared. My crop was down, but my yield was way down,
Yeah.
which has never happened. In 10 years, I've never had a yield drop like that. It's always been pretty rock solid.
So that's kind of a double hit: a loss of colonies and a loss of
Right.
flow.
My 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 yield was 60% of my average yield, but because I lost a number of colonies, my crop was 14% of my average crop. So that hit pretty hard.
How James's bees are doing, I haven't heard anything.
Didn't talk to him in a while.
Um, Actually, I did see a video, or I think it was a short, him doing a infrared thing of the boxes.
So I seem kind of tired. I put in a good day in the shop. I am a little tired.
Yeah, I'm
Finished
right
my
behind.
two-way pallets. Hey boss, your two-way pallets are ready. Come and get them out of my shop.
I kind of like those pallets.
Those are nice.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Brad. I was beat all day today.
15
That
more
was on the boat.
15 three-way pallets to make hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know what he's out there sailing around the Caribbean.
Brad, you'll wait till go to the dipper till everything's done, though, right?
Oh yeah, I got 145 covers to build before I go to the dipper, so it'll be a while.
Huh.
It'll be a while. Lifting those pallets back and forth really makes me sore, so the covers will be a nice relief. Not as heavy.
You planned it right. Do the light stuff last when you're burned out.
Yeah, yeah. And I do that so that I have pallets to put the covers on. I just use one of the pallets to stack the covers up on and wrap it all together. No sense in putting pallets on pallets, right? Just use the pallets.
Yeah.
Did you decide to make any more for your honey supers this year?
I was looking at some plywood yesterday, thinking, "Gee, I'd like to build some of those. If I do, it'll be a last minute thing."
Yeah.
My projects always fit in at the end of the paying work. I want to build a bunch of those slatted racks. I don't think that'll take too long though. And some of those top parts to fix the polystyrene boxes too. Some of those poly boxes are just awful.
See you, Bracken. I've heard about slatted racks. They had them years ago, and then nobody used them. Now they seem to be coming back in popularity. Isn't it just an area where it gives more room at the bottom of the hives?
Basically, yeah. And I'm not building them for any traditional reason to use them. Really, I'm just building them as a way to adapt the polystyrene lysine boxes I have onto my two-way pallets, plus the benefit of having a wooden entrance to put my oxalic acid vaporizer in without melting the polystyrene.
That was my biggest complaint with lysine.
Yeah.
Or any poly or styrofoam or plastic.
So that's really why I'm making them. And you can't just add 2 or 3 inches of space at the bottom, and then it'll start building a bunch of comb, which will be a pain. So a slatted rack is the only way to do it, to curtail the extra comb building.
Yeah, that's why I got rid of that 6-frame nuke, is that I had to go in the front entrance. I had to make a special wooden adapter so it wouldn't melt the darn thing. And I'm
Yeah.
like, forget it. Let's go back to wooden boxes and be done with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I told like
devise.
John came out with that hive that he had. I said, John, you got the same kind of hive like everybody else. I said, if you want to be superior, like, he first came out with an extractor that, the honey will flow out the front. You don't have to tip the extractor. Well, put a darn port in the darn, at least the base of that hive, that you can stick that nozzle in there that won't melt it. But nobody's done that yet.
Yeah, I think it's a missed opportunity for them because, oxalic acid vaporizers, the way they are very popular.
Yeah.
A lot of people use them. So
why not make a permanent port, that's ceramic or something.
Something, yeah. With the custom things that Janos has made for the Instant Vap, I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't made something for the exit tube to protect it. He does have a silicone tube that you can put around it, which protects the polystyrene, but I've used it and I keep knocking the thing off and I lose it in the grass.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what would happen to me right off the bat.
Yeah. So I thought, well, I'll just I had to adapt it anyway because the Lyson box is bigger than the wooden box and it would hang over the edge of the pallet, and also it wouldn't fit into the U-clip in the middle. So I thought, well, I did a bunch of measuring and thinking about how I do it, and the slatted rack is big enough for the poly box, but it also has 1.5 inch sides, so it's gonna fit on the two-way pallet without it leaving any gaps. So that's really why I'm using them, or planning to use them. So that's what I want to do in my shop. My buddy wanted me to build him a solar wax melter too, but I don't really know how I would do that in an efficient way. It might not be a very nice unit. I have to build 2 or 3 of them to kind of get on to how to do it.
Yeah, get it figured out.
Yeah. So Eric's saying he uses those, and the queen lays up in the bottom of the frames. So that's one of the reasons I've heard people use them, is to brings the brood nest a little lower in the box to
makes sense
because it's warmer down there, and it helps with swarm mitigation too, because it just gives them the extra space to cluster at the bottom. So I don't think there's any downside to using them for me, for what I want.
Yeah, now Doug's got those. He showed those top lids that he uses. They're kind of like
he injects the vapor into the top. Yeah, so that works well.
He had some kind of a wooden space there. I forget how you had it made, where it went into the rim of it or something like that.
Yeah,
blow the smoke. It was a good idea.
And I could do that too, but I need an adapter for my pallet as well.
Need an adapter for the bottom of the hive, so
it's going to solve that problem too. And I like using the entrance. Works well for what I'm doing.
Hey, Clay.
So that's what's going on in the shop.
Yeah.
It'll be busy until, well, I should be done the pallets and covers in about 3 weeks.
Is that for
the dipper? What's that?
Pallets for Ian.
Yeah, pallets for Ian and one other guy. So I should have those to the dipper mid-April. And the best part is then I get paid.
There's the man.
There's a
Yeah.
boss.
Hey,
You
Ian.
guys.
Talking about getting paid.
Yeah, I hear you're done the pellets. Good.
Can't wait to get my job done and get paid.
That's the deal.
Money, money, money.
Yep. Just got the cooler turned back on, and so the shed's settled down again.
Was this a planned outage?
No, I think it's ice storm. Our farm is not experiencing ice storm, but I get the power from south of us, and I think they're seeing ice down there. And it went out, and we checked, and there's an outage. They had some repairs to do, so I think it was an ice and wind. Very windy here today. Yeah.
I see.
What do you fuel your generators with?
Mine just a little Honda gas. I just have a fan set up, air intake, just to put the air through. The air probably sat for about an hour without being mixed inside, and I think that stagnant air, the bees, they started to beard and run around a bit. But as soon as I got fresh air in there and started moving the air, they stopped running around.
So it didn't take too much then.
No.
So you don't have I would figure you have you probably have it at the farm, a PTO generator.
Yeah, we have a great big generator that runs a grain dryer. Not the grain dryer, but the air. What would you call it? The pneumatic vac that is hitched onto the grain dryer. So we don't have that wired in. The hydro doesn't let us do stuff like that. But we could have our electrician come in to put a big switch on, so we could do that. It's just we haven't done it. No real need to.
I just thought maybe you'd have I don't know, around here you got those generators that are on 2-wheel cart behind the tractor, and you hook them up to your tractor, and they'll, like especially like dairy farmers, they'll run their vacuum pumps with them and all that stuff. They're big enough. They're big enough to do all that, 20,000 watts or whatever.
Yeah, no, we just have a big stationary, great big one. Yeah, then little wee windows.
Yeah, I seen that one on that video that time you were showing at the greenery.
Nice and handy. Yep. Yeah, that's all the excitement for today, though.
So you were just pulling cold air in with your fans?
Yeah, it's not really warm. It's about 0 degrees, same as Brad. It's not really freezing. Actually, it didn't freeze last night, I don't think. It was slushy this morning.
No. Yeah. It was warm. Like it was a few degrees above freezing, but it wasn't a nice day. It was breezy and
it was
pissing
cold.
Rain and overcast. It was not a nice day.
Yeah, I put my third jacket back on today. Yeah, it was cold.
Your third jacket.
I couldn't help laughing at you, Ian. You kicking that snow, saying I'm tired of snow.
Yeah, I wanted to die. You can all die right now. Actually, it did. The fields, like yesterday. Yesterday was a good day. In the morning, I could hardly see for the blinding snow, and then the afternoon just had vaporized. The fields turned black, just like that. Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of bare ground now. So that helps quite a bit.
Yeah, I never thought about watching you over the time. I never really thought about what those bees would do if you opened that door up and it bright daylight like that.
Yeah, they're not conditioned to the light
forever. They just
like Brad's outdoor colonies. They're all conditioned to the light, so they know what it means. Yeah, my indoor colonies, I put them out in the snow. They just fly out and they land backwards. They upside down like this because they're applied to the light. Right? It's just a dead loss. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cleared my apiary a little while ago, so it's mostly melted off now. So, hopefully that'll help the bees a bit. There's snow everywhere else.
Yeah,
we'll see. I did a bunch of snow clearing yesterday out there, just so that once it starts to melt, it'll be gone and give the bees a chance.
Give them a chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just talking about sneezing. My poor wife, every time she walks out of the house into a sunshiny day, she's got that 15-minute ritual. Sneezing.
Me too, actually.
That's biological. You know what that is, Joey? That's biological.
Yeah.
So I think some people have it worse than others, but I know if I want to make myself sneeze, I just look at a bright light or something.
Yep.
If it's
sneeze inside,
the sneeze trigger nerve runs right next to the optic nerve.
Yeah.
and it's literally crosstalk. Overload the optic nerve, and it triggers the sneeze nerve. Your biology trivia for the day.
Yep.
Well, I'm fixing to bow out because my supper's ready.
Oh, well,
Well, you don't want to wait on that.
No, man. The famous smokehouse, Joey, you missed out on 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Jeff,
y'all
it was
have a
nice
good,
seeing you.
yeah, good seeing y'all too. Y'all have a good evening.
Have a
See
good
you
night.
next
You too.
time.
All right.
Yeah, not much exciting here. Just pallet after pallet after pallet. Watched a 2.5 hour Joe Rogan episode.
How was it?
Well,
Did you?
I was building. It was really good. It was
I,
really good.
I watched most of it.
Yeah, it was really good. The last half hour something, all they talk about is martial arts.
Yeah.
So I guess interesting to some people, but it's certainly not subject matter I was looking for.
Battery died.
There you
Had to
went.
go.
Yeah, it was brought him kind of a cool gift. That cowbell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it was
the what did they call it? I forget what they call it.
cowbell.
I didn't call it a cowbell.
Well, I think that's
Called it.
kind of what it. Sometimes they refer to it in the gym, I think, as a cowbell.
Yeah, he was calling it something else.
I got one right there.
The weight, the big ball weight with the handle on top. Kettlebell.
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 They call it.
Kettle.
I thought you
Okay.
said cattle.
Kettlebell.
Kettlebell. Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Like you listen to Pierre and he talks about stuff and he knows history so well, doesn't he? He knows where things, particularly when it comes to politics and whatnot, the developments of countries, the developments of political systems. Just incredible to listen to him talk about the history of all that stuff. It's amazing.
It was kind of interesting. He got hurt playing sports and had to have something to do, so he started tagging along with his mother to some political stuff.
If you hadn't got hurt, he said, if you hadn't got hurt, he would just be a mediocre wrestler. Because he said he wasn't that good. He just liked doing it.
Oh, look what just popped up.
Oh, look at this. That's really awesome, Mike.
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Huh. You didn't see it, did you, Charlie? He was out of pocket.
Okay, cool.
That's a good picture.
Yep.
Beekeeper of the year. You should put on your tag there, Mike. Big Mike's honey, beekeeper of the year.
Hey, Troy.
Hey, Troy. My shop's starting to look like yours, Brad. I think I've got 90 bee boxes built.
Wow.
And before the end of next week, there'll be 200 in there.
Congestion, eh? I'm actually doing pretty good this year. Everything's going to have to be wrapped up and put in the other building because I have to get all my other equipment from the other supplies from the other building and bring it into the shop to build covers.
I kept that picture. That's a good one.
Now, the other building, is that where your bees are?
Yeah.
So do you have to move it in the evening or on a cold day or switch the stuff around? Or
if I'm quick, I can grab things. Quite often you'll get a bee or two fly out. But he was messing with the buttons. That's why he left.
Nah, his battery died.
So
Can you
your
hear me?
phone really holds the battery well.
I hear you.
Yeah, my sound was going crazy on me.
He,
But yeah,
he turned that phone sideways and all the
Yeah.
lithium come out of the battery.
the lithium drained to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you had a wonderful trip.
Yeah. You're the one to England you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a really good time. Good time to get away. Yeah.
So those, I call them alleyways that you had that car going down through there that might have been 8 feet wide if it was that.
That's
Was
called
that
a highway.
Was that a place where you're supposed to drive a car or what?
I don't know.
That was
I think
somebody's
they're all
bicycle
over the
path.
place like that. We went to a little town called Ironbridge, a very, very old town, industrial town. And we were going along and I made the wrong turn. Of course, I always make wrong turns and Google tried to get me out of it, but it sent me down to these narrowest little streets with walls on both sides, and there's cars that go down there because the guys park. They live down these little streets, and there's two-way. And I'm thinking, I mean, how are you supposed to pass a guy coming at you? Because there's cars pointing that way, cars pointing this way, and there's just these little juts out. So I think they have their methods when they drive. They come to a certain point, don't see anybody, somebody gets the right way to go into the next little spot where they can get to the side. So I don't know, but I don't know all those little things, right? So I get caught in these little alleys.
The thing that get me is sitting on the wrong side of the car.
And that's that too.
I mean, that's like, get over there. No, the other way.
I'd be a nervous wreck.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, I don't know.
My left brain and right brain wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, just think about it. You're going down the road and you're on the left side of the road, which you're normally on the right side of the road. Then you come to an intersection and you're used to making a left, being in the left side of the car, and you're trying to make a right and you're over there. It don't feel right.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. They sure like their roundabouts, and the roundabouts are all backwards there. I didn't see a single stop sign the whole time. It was all roundabouts, but I had to make sure I was looking the right way because of the right of way, right? It's opposite. So, and then good thing I didn't hit any pedestrians. Like, holy,
the left lane is the right lane, and the right lane is the wrong lane.
That's right.
Now on a roundabout, you go around.
I'm going around this way. Yeah, I go left.
Clockwise.
We're going left, clockwise. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Clockwise, and then they layer them. They have some of them when you get closer to the bigger cities. There's 3 lanes within the roundabout, so you have to know which lane you're in. Because if you're in the wrong lane and you have to go through the one exit, you can't cross the traffic in the roundabout. Otherwise, you'll run into somebody. So I got caught a few times like this.
Yeah, I've seen a couple around here that's got at least 2 lanes.
Yeah,
but like you said, you got to be in the right-hand lane in order to get off on the exit.
Yeah,
and the other one goes around the other way.
Any 2-lane roundabout messes me up. I don't know. I couldn't do one backwards. There ain't no way.
I was telling Brad, like at night, I had to make a rule not to drive at night because first off, I'm on the wrong side of the road, and second, these roads are so narrow. There's no room, and there's a wall on this side or a hedge, so you can't get away. You're stuck to your lane, and they're winding roads like this. And the car with the lights, go up in the hill so you can see and you can't see. You can see, you can't see. And great big trucks just barreling down these little roads going, they're used to it. They're going 60 miles an hour. So I'm meeting traffic at night and I'm on the wrong side of the road on a little bit of a turn like this with the lights going down just a little bit. And, I'm looking and thinking, my brain is saying that truck is coming at me. I'm on the wrong side of the road. I'm going to die. And it was 15 minutes of driving. I thought like 3 times in the 15 minutes, I thought I was going to die. Just got to stick to my lane. I have nowhere to go. All I can do is stick to my lane and just get through this. And I told Sandy, that's it. First little town we came to, we bought a hotel room and we got off the road. It was not fun.
That truck driver probably just left the pub.
do they have Uber over there? That's what I
It was Scotland, so yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, but the thing of it is that even I've seen, well, you were going through a dirt road or something out through town there.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything is like small, and it's like,
Narrow. Yeah.
it's not like around here where, yeah, we got at least a 20-foot roadway where you got 10-foot and 10-foot.
Yeah.
And I often wonder, like, if you get out where the farming area there, they got big farming equipment. I know that how do you get it up down the road without getting?
Oh, that's, yeah. We're sitting around supper with the bee guys. The guys at a bee conference. I was there talking to the guys, and the one kid was along. He was helping his dad with the show, and he said, "Oh yeah, I just got my tractor license." And I looked at him and I said, "You got a what?
What?
A tractor license?" He said, "Oh yeah, I got my tractor license. I'm going to work on my combine license next." I said, "You're getting a combine license?" And I could not understand what he was talking about, because they have to get a license to be able to drive these vehicles on the road. But now I understand, because all these back roads are all paved, they're all busy. There's big trucks in all of them. They have so much traffic, and they have to get from one side of the farm to the other, and they go on the road with everybody else, because everything's set up as a palace, right? You got castle in the middle, and you got this network of roads, so everybody is going like this all over the place. And so they have to know the rules of the road with those tractors. Otherwise, people are going to die. So,
Well, I do know that's why you see, how our equipment now folds around to where it kind of is all in one lane.
yeah.
Because over in Europe over there, that's required. There can't be no over with machinery.
No, everything is. I know why they make them look so funny now, because they're tight, and then in North America, everything on top of a combine or tractors like this, because we have the space. Well, they don't, because they have trees over top of their road, so everything's like this, curved over top. And I know exactly why they do that now. I can see exactly why. It's kind of neat to see, actually. Yeah.
Did you
What
whip
you mean,
out
where
the
the
video of your?
ends up on top and it's curved in?
Yeah, it curves in. Ours curves out, right? Because we have all the space in the world out here, but theirs curves in, is because the trees over top. I mean, the trees are trimmed to the trucks that go by. Is just exactly the shape of a truck as it's going down the road. It's being trimmed with every truck and the
Kind of
combines that go through.
shape a wile E. coyote going through a mountain or something, eh? Just the outline of.
Did
Yeah.
you whip out the video of your like 12, 13-year-old kid driving the combine back home?
Yeah, I did actually. I showed him that, and there's a few eyebrows raised up. And
April driving the cat.
yeah, Mike. Yeah, we had a really good time. The redundancy of the farm and redundancy of life. You get up in the morning and you have your coffee and you check Facebook, and then you go to work and you do this and you do that. You go home and you have supper, and everything's the same all the time. I mean, just life. It's nice to get away and just break that cycle. And it felt really good. Yeah, 11 days away felt really good.
Did you show off the videos of your old combine out running?
They knew. No, I didn't, but they knew all about it. They certainly did. Yeah, they certainly did. Yeah.
How's the pickup truck coming?
Well, I have the heart in the hands of my welder right now, so that the block has got a crack on it, and that has to be repaired. And he said he's going to do it. He knows he's going to do it. But when I gave it to him, he says, "Oh, a welder." He was like, "Oh, geez, I don't know if this is going to work," and blah, 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 bullshit, all this. And then I said, "Well, okay, I guess I could maybe find a different." "Oh, no, leave it with me, and I'll make sure it's fixed up." But Dad's always told me, you never bug a welder. You give him a project unless it's absolutely necessary. You just leave it on his lap, and he'll let you know when he's done. So I'll just wait until and it's not priority either. He's busy.
We had an old D4 bulldozer cat motor, and the head was cracked, and we said, all right, we've done that motor. And another guy come along and said, "Oh, I take it over here to this old guy," and he laced it, as they call it, where they put the board in there and put them screws down in there and all that. And we sold, we can do that. And it was just sitting there in our way. And I'm like, I think my brother finally said, "You can get that thing running. You can have it for $500 or whatever it was. Get it out of here."
We were thinking about doing that too, but the block was pushed out just a little bit too much. So he figured maybe the best attempt right now would, I mean, what do we have to lose? So he's going to weld it. He has to heat it up, and he knows a certain type of carbon in that block or whatever. So he has a schedule. So he'll heat it up and weld it, and then cool it very slowly, and then maybe he'll keep. It's not going to be under a lot of pressure, anyways.
Yeah, we take saws up here to this guy, and he was a professional welder, a certified welder. And where we hit a piece of steel in the jaw that holds the tooth, he had to cut that off with a bandsaw, a portable bandsaw, and then put a new one on there and weld it. And then he took a torch and he had different kind of crayons, and they would melt at different temperatures.
Oh, is that smart?
He would sit there and have the fire going up from the bottom, and just like a single tip, and sometimes it was a flared out fire, some of it was a little bit narrow, and he would sit there like that and put that crayon on there until it would start to melt, and then he would do another crayon and whatever, and temper it. And
yeah.
where he would, I seen him where he had the fire close to it, then he would bring it, lower it down, so where it just heat was hitting it and not the flame. And after so many different 2 or 3 crayons of temperature gauging, and it was fine.
Oh, is that smart? Yeah.
He knew his stuff.
Yeah, this guy we take our stuff to. He charges a lot, but he's like a pipeline welder, and now he's back home. He's running the family business, and he has his engineering degree and everything. So he knows his shit, if you want to say it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a pipeline welder like that, where I asked him about that. He said, well, like if you had a 30-inch pipe, and he said, your rod, I forget how long it is. And he said, you have to start here and go all the way around that as a continuous weld for like a gas pipeline.
Yeah.
Propane or fuel. And it had to be a continuous thing. And then you had to take a test in order to be able to work on that line, pass the test. And then
they X-ray all those welds. I mean, there's no giveaway.
I would just say that. Then they would go around with an X-ray machine and X-ray all that stuff.
Yeah, if there's any flaw, they have to grind it out. Yeah, so they don't make mistakes. No. That's why they take their time too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, then he was, one time we were at the bar or whatever. He wasn't drinking. He said, "No, I got to test tomorrow. I got to have straight hands. Are got to be, just steady. Got to have steady hands."
Oh, that reminds me of an old guy when I was 15 years old. Out in Rose Isle, he was a welder all his life, and he formed Parkinson's. Is a cruel disease. Has a very cruel disease. But being a welder, he had to keep his hands busy all the time. So he had a rod in his hand, and as long as he kept moving this rod in his hand, he wasn't shaking. And it'd be the same with welding. He'd be shaking like this with the rod, like this, until he started welding, and then he was just a perfect bead, just like that. And then when he was done, he started shaking. He grabbed his rod, and he had to keep his hands going. It was quite something else to see. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, that's a heck of a memory. Yeah.
That muscle memory, even though it doesn't look like movement, it still is. So it still qualifies as intentional movement.
And David wants to know, did they talk about Reverend Charles Bishop over there, father of UK beekeeping?
No, I never heard that name. No, I never did.
Charles who?
Bishop. I've never heard of him. I mean, I've heard of what's the other one? The monk.
The Brother Adam.
Brother Adam.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, Mike, you should see these boxes that they have out there. They call them nationals. Just the weirdest looking things. I don't know how they beekeep in that. They're too small to be any good, and then they double them up, and they're too big apparently. So they're trying to find, like, they figure the Langstroth is the perfect space because they're bringing them over to there, and they're like, "Whoa, this is perfect. This is a perfect cavity. It just works so well." Yep. So they're introducing the Langstroth to the beekeepers out there. And that's one of the reasons why they invited me out there, just to provide they call us modern beekeepers over here, just like the North American type beekeeper. And but there's guys in the crowd,
Yep.
Well, the National, isn't that a square box?
Yeah, it's
square.
more square and a little shallower. It's
Do
really
the frames
odd.
run sideways compared to what we run them?
I don't know. They have a
It's
bunch of
square.
different ones there. Like they have probably 6 different styles. So like even Richard Noel, I think he runs a different style even. It's all, I walked through the trade show, and the biggest problem they have is because of that. They're stuck with their tradition, and I love it. It's very romantic, and I really appreciate the way they can hang on to their heritage and the pride they have. But at the same time, I'm walking through the trade show, and they have to have 6 different extractors because of 6 different frames, because of 6 different boxes, and nothing standardized, so they can improve it that way. Yeah, and they can't adopt a practice like plastic foundation because, I mean, for us, everything's the same size. So the cost of producing those plastic foundations is cheap because everybody buys it. It's built on, wholesale, but there you got to do it 6 different ways. It just adds cost, right?
I think.
Yeah, I see a lot of them switching over to Langstroth now.
Yeah.
Watching the channels on overseas.
I think I saw Lawrence one time said he had to have a separate extractor just for heather honey. It's like
Yeah.
one.
It was the neatest thing. That I went to the honey house tour. The guy invited me over, and he wasn't extracting heather honey, but he had a setup. What the heck was he extracting? He needed it, but it was a little. I can't do it because my hand's holding the phone. But below the cutters that cut like that, below it, there's a little plate with little pins on it, the width of the frame about that, and it just continuously went like this against the frame and poked holes into the side just to help the honey come out. It was the neatest thing.
Looks like me and Joey are the only ones that got sunburn on the forehead.
Yeah.
We get a lot of reflection off the snow and ice.
Yeah, you do.
I tell you, I've come back from ice fishing and stuff with a hell of a sunburn.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And
Definitely get a
you make
sunburn
the
in snow.
mistake of wearing your sunglasses and you look like a panda bear.
That's right.
I just wear these, but I probably still look like a panda bear.
I just love hearing
I
Mike
look like a
say
panda bear
Canada.
here for sure.
Hey, Brad, be nice.
I am being nice. I love the way you say things.
So are they got keepers like as big as you over there, Ian? As far as
things are a bit smaller. I would say 200 hives would be a big guy. There's a guy up in Scotland. He had 25 or was it 5,000 colonies. He produced heather honey. He was a big guy. There's 1,000 hives would be a big beekeeper there for sure. Yeah, they do a lot of moving around.
Land issue.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, they go around, pollinate apples and make some honey. Yeah, they have the same problems. I'm sitting in their meeting, just listening to them talk about their issues, and they have exactly the same issues as us. They're producing honey, and they only have 18% of their honey market is UK on the shelf. All the rest is import honey, so they have a huge import honey problem straight from China. Like they don't even hide it. It's like China's on there. They have labeling problems on there they have to fix for sure to help with that. But this Chinese honey's coming in is undercutting and their cost of production is increasing and everything's double the cost out there. I mean the queens, like I was sitting there and it would cost 50 pounds for a queen. And I'm like, 50 pounds. So that's almost $100. And I'm up there in my presentation. And I was like, are you guys, you're paying like 50 pounds? That's $100. I said, if I had to pay $100, I would not buy a single queen out here. That's what we pay for a breeder queens. I mean, so they're trying to get into more rearing queens.
They don't do that themselves?
They do, but it doesn't seem to be as popular because they have trouble with weather and mating and stuff. So a lot of import queens.
I mean, you were over there, it was raining, it seemed like all the time.
It'd be rain and sun and rain and sun. So they'd have more, I think they'd have more challenge with mating, I would say. But they have their queens coming in and there's the conflict. It reminded me a lot of the conflict in North America. Like they have the beekeepers wanting to maintain the natural black bee, they call it, whatever the hell that is. So there's a demographic beekeepers want to close the borders from all imports because they want to preserve this black bee and keep it. But this black bee isn't very productive. So the commercial guys want to bring in, the stock from Italy or the stock from Sweden or Germany or wherever it's coming from, and a productive bee to make honey.
That brother Adam talked about that black bee.
Or the buckfast bee. Yeah.
The
They
buckfast
like
bee?
the buckfast. It's not the black bee isn't the buckfast bee though. No, it's a different
No.
bee. Yeah.
No, but now I've heard, and it was hearsay, where the buckfast, you could order one from the Abbey over there direct, but I don't think there's really anybody there that's a true, what would you call it? Like a queen breeder here, that's really got the lineage and it's got all the records and everything. I don't think that they don't have it at over there. That some people say that they don't really have any buckfast bees over there. I don't know, but
I wouldn't know. All I know is they do love the buckfast bee in the UK. Yeah, they like it, but I'm
That's
not
what
sure how they're
Lawrence,
keeping the lineage.
I think Lawrence does that a lot of Buckfast.
Okay.
well, that's like over there. Where's it? What's the other countries in the European area over there that they is it Carniolans or something? One of the countries over there that they will pay a duty if you find a queen that, let's say, an Italian or something like that, and you kill it, they'll give you so many dollars for that queen. So they want that bloodline true within that country.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Yeah. I forget what the darn country is. It's small, next to Russia.
Ukraine?
Might have been Ukraine.
Yeah, they're having a lot of trouble. Well, they're not. Yeah, they are having trouble. They're having trouble with, bar talk. This is all bar talk, of course. But the guys are in there talking about queens coming in, and one of the concerns is relabeling the queens. They don't even know where the queens are coming from. The queens are coming in from someplace, but they're coming in from another place and just relabeling them and bringing them in. So they're not exactly sure where some of these queens have come from, and that's a big problem. These guys are talking about it. And it's a big problem out there because there's pests that are starting to migrate closer to them that I won't get into it here, but starting to migrate close to them. And if they don't know where these queens are coming from, which they're relabeling, I mean, how do you control any of that? Not from Georgia, no, but other places close to it. Yeah. So that's, anyways, being an industry guy is just, I enjoyed listening to some of the politics of it. And the bicker and the fighting.
I bought some queens a few years ago from Wisconsin, and come find out they were made in California. So they took a plane flight to from California to Wisconsin, then got repackaged and then sent to me. They weren't very good queens, especially after 2 plane flights.
Yeah, that's a lot of transport.
Well, I think in the States, pretty much, unless you're getting them like Charlie does when they go down there and get nukes and stuff, they're all like that. I mean, even Man Lake. If you're
but I could have just ordered them from the distributor.
From the guy, right? From the first guy.
Yep.
Yeah, and saved probably better part of a week traveling for that poor queen.
Well, Man Lake, I'm right down there when we would go down there to Hardeman's. I got pictures of them. There's plastic cages, and guess where they're going? They're going to Kelly's up there, which is Man Lake. That's where Man Lake gets all that stuff. It's all come from the same places down there.
Or Cutix.
Yeah, or the other one.
Rossman. Rossman.
No, it's about 50 miles from Hardeman's down there. Spelby. I forget what the other name for it is. But anyway, I was down there the one time, and that was when they had a year where everybody's had problems getting queens mated. There was issues of weather and all that kind of stuff. And it's like everybody else, they all called around each other. Have you got any extra queens you can sell us so we can make packages? And they're not just You know, it's not, these are our queens or anything like that. Most of them are, but they'll buy queens from amongst each other.
Gardeners.
Gardeners, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Ian, you plan on having your daughter grafting again this year for you?
Yeah, I have a bunch of queens ordered, but we're going to get into grafting and we'll see where it goes. So if it goes really well, then we're going to have a lot of nukes made up. But if it doesn't go so well, then it's not going to really matter a whole lot. So we'll just see how it goes this year.
Yeah. She enjoyed it though.
She did, and she's talking about. She said, "You know, Dad, when I get back, I want to make a whole bunch of colonies." I said, "Well, you want to, you have a lot of money. Why don't you buy a cow or something? Because the market's good or whatever." Well, yeah, I could do that, but I'd rather buy bees. So there you go.
One cow or a whole bunch of bees.
Yeah, about right. That's for sure. Oh, you'll like this, Charlie. My father used to buy his purebred bulls from a purebred buyer in northern Saskatchewan. So a family has been around for 100 years. And a grandfather, and then his father, and then the son. Now the son has his health trouble, so he's getting out. So my brother bought his herd out. Okay, 200 cows. So we bought his herd, but that guy kept his bulls for his bull sale, for his last bull sale. So he's having his last bull sale. And he sold his top selling bull sold for $360,000, which is about $270,000 American. Yeah, it was an amazing price for an animal. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, that's the type of money that dairy animals sell for, like the top dairy cows. And this is a breeding.
As long as you got
animal.
That lineage, the documentation and all that. And there's a farm up here, and they've been doing this for 30 some years because the guys, well, the son's running it now, but the father used to come down here at the mill, and they got into this at least 30 years ago of embryos.
Yeah.
And they're harvesting the embryos, and they're kind of like horses, Yeah, well, you can have first dibs on this cow, and it's got this lineage and whatever. And when that calf drops and whatever, but it don't guarantee you whether that calf's going to be alive or dead.
No.
You got to put the money up front. And then they send the embryos all over the country.
Yeah.
With all that. And that's where they're making their money at, is all that kind of stuff. And
they'll sell semen package from this guy.
30 years to get that reputation.
Yeah.
The lineage and the quality and all that stuff.
Yeah, big money, that's for sure.
Hey, Alicia. But it's, I guess, like everything else, whatever you kind of get into, and that kind of thing. And so it's like my son, he's been taking the hay business over the last 4 or 5 years, and of course we get these hay girls, or pleasure riding horse girls coming in the mill and getting sawdust. We're kind of in that area where you got these girls. When they come out of the city, they got to have a horse. Well, then they got to have a fence and a post and the barns. In the 70s, man, we were just making barns all the time. And there's still, people. I get a text from the different girls that got my number. Guy sawdust, and I'm like, yes, no.
Bet they got your number, Charlie.
But,
Bob's just in the background.
And but anyway, he's buying and selling, he had a load coming today, 20 or 30 round bales from a guy. He comes, I think, every week. And different ones. He says everybody just says, they're looking for hay. Well, there's only one person in the county that's got hay, and that's my son. Nice. You have to go see him. I don't know where he gets it all. And I said, we bale it all, right?
Yeah, that's good.
But he I don't know. We had That's been a month or more ago when we had this big snowstorm coming in. That remember we were talking about all the ice and everything, and that I don't know 6-7 days prior to that storm, he told me I think he sold over 100 round bales just in that 1 week
Nice.
for all these different people. And then he sells those 3x3s. Like I think you probably use some of them.
We're more round and we're silage, so we stack everything. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah, guys, a lot of that in the dairy.
Well, they're
farms use
going down here. They're going from round bales to the big square bales.
Oh yeah,
For they stack better and all that stuff.
and transportation too. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got that bundleizer from up your way, and we're bundleizing the small square bales and stuff.
Oh yeah.
At the what is it? The Murdoch at St. Murdoch.
So they got your number on the bathroom wall. For a good time, call Charlie.
Anyway, he's selling just constantly hay going out the door.
Yeah, and the best thing is there's not there's overhead, of course, but it'd be alfalfa grass he grows.
Yeah, he just he's going to we had a field up here. They just kind of ran out, and he was going to do some different things, but then he said, he wants to do alfalfa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I said, trying to get that stuff dry and just right. And it can't be wet, dry, and it can't be too wet. And then he reminded me, well, remember now we got this baler with this automatic sprayer that's got a computer in the thing. And if we can keep it at 17%, 18%, it should be just fine. I said, okay. But I said, you got to bale it every 28 days. I've been down this road before. Yeah, but we're not using wagons anymore. I said, yeah, that's right. We don't have to do that anymore. I just took three hay wagons up to the sale yesterday, or let's see, was it yesterday? It was Friday. Yeah. Friday and Thursday and Friday, we took wagons up there to try to sell them. See what happens.
That's what they call changing of the guard. The old guard's out, but the old guard's still there to remind them what happens, right?
Well, it's like my brother told him. It was last year when we bought that bale bearing, and he said, you're going to have to think about that bale bearing a little bit quicker than normal because, I can't, my brother can't do it for sure. And last year I was helping him unload some wagons. Where's your help at? And well, we got this one and that one coming in. And then this one's got to leave at this time because of going out to dinner with the girlfriend. And I'm like, I said, you're going to have to buy this thing or something or get out of the business because, the help situation, there's just nothing there anymore.
Yeah.
And we did, or he did. And it's been the best thing he ever bought.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's nice when an investment like that pays back. It's a things a lot easier.
Total game changer. And what was good about it was we went up there he was looking at one used with the baler. And I said, well, if you're going to spend $100,000, best spend it on something new. And so I said, call the dealership up. And so we went up there, and the guy had a used baler to go with it. It was the inline baler. And then he turned around. Oh, well, they asked about, interest and how much you're going to pay on this baler and this and that. And oh, by the way, we got a new Massey inline for 0% financing. Well, I'm like, let's go ahead and do that. That's what he did. So
0%, you can't beat that. That's pretty good.
Beat that. And that ain't 0% on the bale bearing, but at least it's on the Massey.
Yeah.
And so that's how it worked out. So he's got, between some family funds and him borrowing money, we replaced everything in the hay equipment line except for the rake and upgraded everything. Of course, everything was 20, 25 years old. So, and
yeah, it's the curse of it all. Yeah. Upgrading old equipment. It's an ongoing task, very costly. Yeah. My daughter, she's in agriculture school right now, and she's actually learning stuff. She come home and she sat down and he said, Dad, I was going through and we're in this one lab, and we're going through. We're looking at her facilities, and she says, "I'm doing the math here, and I'm looking at the acreage and the budget she gave me for the crop production, and we don't have enough bin space. We have half the bin space we need." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "To be able to do that, we have to sell the crop all in the fall, so then we have enough space in the bins for the corn to come in later. So we have to pre-sell some of the wheat to make sure we get a good price." And she's going through all the logistics because her prof is teaching her all this stuff, and she just her perspective on life. But it's all stuff I already told her, but she didn't. She was not going to listen to me. So I thought it's kind of refreshing. Anyway, she's learning stuff at school. Yeah.
Well, it may be the way it's presented or whatever. Or I found in myself with beekeeping is that you go through life at a certain stage, something's not really important. But then as you get closer to, let's say, queen rearing or whatever, then what people had talked about years previous, then it makes sense to you. Like, yeah, I can remember like they would all sit around, yeah, you only got 3 months to raise queens. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, then when you get into it, you find out these are the 3 months that you can do it. And after that, it's all over with because of the drones and stuff. And then it all starts to make sense. And then I think, like going to that school, they're showing you examples and stuff. And then it clicks for what you've been talking to her about, she can relate to it.
See, now she's paying to learn it. She didn't want to take the free stuff. She had to pay to learn, learn it.
Ian, is Ian froze up? Yeah.
He froze up. Hey, JW.
I just checking
JW.
in, Joyce. If looks like you've got enough crowd. I just literally walked in the door.
What have you been doing?
Is that some of your fresh wax boxes back there?
Not from today. That's an old picture we did right at 600 today.
Looks like they've been burnt to me.
They have been.
They're being scorched or whatever they call it.
Yep, I do everything. Them's my personal boxes.
How many did y'all end up dipping today?
Right at 600.
Good gracious. Y'all wasn't playing, was you?
So you're running that new dip tank, JD?
We run 2 of them all day.
Hmm.
Well, we could run 8 boxes every 10 minutes. 2 of them. So
But you have 200 or 300 100-pound propane bottles sitting there.
I had 3 on hand. Yeah.
Oh, he's got some lumber tanks there too.
Sir?
How many pounds of wax did you go through today?
I don't know. They're still out
Pickup truck?
They're still loading. It's the Matt Ramsbottom and Nate Biggs. You guys probably met some of them if you was at St. Louis. I don't know if you met Nate or not. I think he was there. But they came out. Tom came out last night. We worked till late last night putting stuff together.
Now, when you put the boxes that you glued them and
glue and screw, all of them finger jointed. That's all I'll do.
And how does that wax affect the glue? Does it melt the glue?
No. It'll turn it dark. The wax will, and the heat will, or whatever.
It won't run out or anything.
I don't know. The wax will penetrate it. It's I use Type Bond 3 on everything.
Yeah, that's what I use, and it's even the PL Premium I use on pallets doesn't hurt it to dip it.
What is it? Number 3 Type Bond?
Type Bond 3.
Yeah, it's the waterproof stuff.
Yeah, there was a guy in here. See, what was it? We were talking about glue. Oh, he's a shutter man. I bought some Spanish cedar from him for him. And he uses, he was saying, well, I don't use that over there, which was 2, sitting on the shelf. And I said, yeah, you're using probably 3. He said, yeah. I said, well, that's because you're out, it's out in the weather all the time.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you got a good crowd, Joey. I just was going to check in, let you know that I hadn't.
Okay.
We just literally finished up. I'm telling you,
I
I just
think
walked in the house.
I
I'd
think
say
that club, Tom's Club, Eastern Missouri
I
Beekeeping
had
Club,
no idea they were, but
they did a lot today too.
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
that's what he talked about that. He had to get up last night and I don't know. He said he was going to probably get up several times in the middle of the night and go out there to where he has his shop, check on the fire because it's burning all night long.
you mean the fire for his dip tank?
Yeah, he turned the wax dipper on to melt all that stuff to get it. Takes about 6 hours to melt it.
Yeah. I talked to this is the first go around for this thorn box. You know, this wax tipping box I got off a thorn, and this was the first go around. I called Randy, and he said it took him 4 hours to heat it up, and I just put the new wax in this morning, so it took a little longer melting all
So,
the wax down.
so do you like it or you want your money back?
Yeah, no, it's a big improvement over my old one, but I will still use the old one all day today too. So
Yeah. Now, Michael, they're not using plain paraffin. They're doing paraffin with crystal in it.
yeah, that's correct. I don't know the ratio on this. It's already pre-mixed. I got it from. It comes out of Canada.
In it in blocks or something.
Yeah, it's in. They're in about 5 pound blocks. Is what they come in. I had. It took 700. It took 700 pounds to fill my tank. So
That's a lot of wax.
yeah, I got two of them that way, so you can imagine. My other tank I've had for years. I built it. I had a bigger one, and
Biggest
it was
thing.
too big. It took about 1,400 pounds to fill it up with wax where you could dip in it.
Yeah, you're talking. You got the price of the machine, and then you got to probably pay that much more or more just for the wax.
Well, it's not cheap. It's about $3 a pound. Depends on what mixture you get. I always mixed my own before, but I did buy some of this, what's it called? Hive Guard, I think. Hive Guard. You know anything about it, Brad? It comes from up in.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about it. Yeah, it's called Hive Guard. It's a mixture of paraffin and microcrystalline. That's about all I know. I don't know the ratios. I think you can get different ratios, but that's all I know.
How much it cost you to get stuff up there dipped to that company that you go to? Like, let's say a regular deep box.
I never dip boxes, so I couldn't say. It's not very much though. It's a couple dollars. I think I'm paying maybe $2 or something for a lid, a 10-frame cover. I think I pay maybe $6 for a pallet, something like that. It's just pretty economical, especially since it's all pay as I go. I don't have to buy any infrastructure. I just a little bit of diesel fuel and drive out.
Yeah, I mean, it's like everything else. Specialization, like you were saying, you can pack up stuff on the pallet, take it there, and I think you usually drop it off, and I'll see, and when they call you or whatever. And
well, he's an hour from Ian, and so when I do product for Ian, I'll just take it out there, drop it, and then Ian picks it up there when he goes out. And then I'll usually have some product that I want to bring back, and they're really good to me. They'll dip it while I wait, and it doesn't take very long.
Overheated on the charger. You got a brand new phone. It's a piece of junk.
Talking about you. Yeah. So as far as ease, when it comes to, I paint once in a while. I'll paint some boxes or something just for a special project or something. I think, man, this is painful to paint something as opposed to dip it. it's just it's like the Stone Ages. Now that I know that you can wax dip things, it's crazy.
I've done it for years, but wax dipping isn't cheap. I can tell you that. But I just absolutely, positively hate to paint. I
Yep.
won't. I won't paint boxes. I just hate to.
But
And-
on the other hand, as far as the amount of time and money, it isn't any cheaper.
I don't think painting. I think painting is a lot more expensive if you use quality paint and whatnot. I don't think you could paint a cover for $2,
No.
even in material.
Randy Southern down there, that's what's he go by?
Tar Heel.
Tar Heel. He Randy, I think he told me he got $6 a piece, for doing wax dipping. I've never waxed for anything but friends and myself. I'm gonna do my
For a
first.
box, $6 for a box.
That's about the going rate. $6.
I wouldn't charge people that much. I mean, did I know?
I mean, I'm looking at propane. A darn tank of propane's what, 100 and a half?
$100. $100 normally for a 100-pound tank. I run all 100-pound tanks.
Anything custom I bring in, they'll weigh it. They'll weigh a sample of the product I built.
Yeah.
They dip it and they weigh it again to see how much wax they're going to have to factor in.
I don't know. I've never done it. I don't.
That's just how they figure. Like if it's any, if it's, I mean, they know boxes, right? They know boxes, they know pallets, they know covers. But anything different that I bring in, they'll weigh it just to see how much they're bringing in for wax.
Well, they've done it. They know, like you say, they know exactly. They got it down to where we know.
That place probably dips 1 million pieces a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't want his job, man.
It's a hot job.
At a time for me.
It's a hot job.
Today.
It's a good job in the winter. You get to work in a warm building.
Yeah. Well, one of my dip tanks is in a 3-sided shed, so I don't get. But it's usually hot enough. I'd rather do it when it's about 30 degrees than when it is 90 degrees. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Dip tanks, you get them hot, puts out a lot of heat.
And they do that. Like they do a lot of their work in the winter because they're beekeepers too. So they don't do as much production in the summer.
No, these boys was good help, and we got through a bunch of boxes today, bottom boards, top covers, inner covers.
Well, the guy I used to buy from in South Louisiana, he even did the little entrance reducers.
I don't do mine. It seems to make
he did
swell
them
a little bit. They don't fit your 5/8 gaps pretty.
Definitely a residue on dipped equipment.
Sir?
There's definitely a residue on the dipped equipment. It does make it, there's a layer of something on it, so it's going to be a different dimension.
Bob Bennett, he swears by painting everything he uses.
Yeah, he paints everything.
Sulfate, I think, and then paints them also, or puts it in his paint or something as a preservative.
Yeah, naphthalene. Yeah, copper naphthalene.
I got 3 feeder migratory covers from him at Hive Life. When was that? 23, Charlie?
Yeah, at least 23.
23. Those things look brand new, and they've been sitting outside in the weather and everything. They still look brand new.
High density overlay, that 3/4 inch high density overlay, Woody makes that stuff up. You don't want to dip it. It will not absorb the dip wax. I'll tell you that. All it does is make a slicks where you get right on the lids. I have to scrape it off. I dipped some of them when I used to buy HDO off of Bob before I could find it in this part of the country. I'd drive from here down to, I had a brother that lived about 50 miles from him, so I didn't make special trips, but I bought my HDO off of Bob for several years. He buys it by the truckloads, semi-loads. But it's a good product. But I would not call it cheap, but it's a very effective product. I love it.
Joey's got the marathon stream tonight.
Sir?
Joey's got the marathon stream tonight.
Yeah. Getting late.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised you're still on, but you had a good crowd. Looks to me like you
I
got
was
Big
sleepy
Mike,
when we started.
Big Bob, and Big Brad, and Big Charlie. Heck, you got all the big boys.
We got the whole starting line right here.
Yeah.
And then the cherry on the ice cream showed up. JW.
Yeah.
You see this, JW? Look at that.
Yeah, I seen where Carl got some kind of super duper good guy award or man of the year or
That's
something.
not Carl. He calls everybody the wrong name.
That's Big Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
I thought that was Carl Hassick. I didn't.
Big Mike, beekeeper of the year.
He had wax on his glasses.
Okay. Yeah, I've got it on my face. I can tell you, I got burnt once. I splashed out. Sorry about that, Mike. I thought that was Carl. Is anybody working bees, or you got drones? Anybody got drones?
I do.
Yep. I've already had some queens come back from some walkaway splits I did.
Well, really, good deal.
Going pretty good so far.
Brad, I see some of your geese are headed back up your way. You see them down by the ponds in any open water they can find.
You talk about Canadians or
Yeah, the Canadian geese.
Canada geese.
Yeah,
No, they're Canadians.
The name is Canada geese.
It's not how we spell it down here.
Well, it's not the correct name for them. I don't know what you're talking about, but
They're from Canada. They're Canadians.
They quack the wrong language.
They probably spend more time not in Canada than they do in Canada.
We got about
I went goose hunting once. We got 3 of them. It was the last 3 I shot because I didn't like the taste of mud. They are not a good tasting bird.
What, the snows?
No, the Canada goose.
Oh. There's not even, I don't think there's a limit on the snows, is there? I wasn't anywhere. I think there's so many of them, they want you to kill them. They tell me. Well, we got them by the millions here. They used to go clear to Texas to winter. Now they winter in our part of the country.
I've lived in this property for 20 years, and the east side of my yard gets a bit wet in the spring. The water collects on the east lawn, I call it. And every year, every spring, we have 2 Canada geese show up. For 20 years. Only 2, but always 2. Every spring.
I got the same thing, and I got my pond down there. They're down there now.
2
and they'll
Canada
have
geese.
5 or 6 of them, babies. And then they'll all of a sudden, boom, they're gone.
Yeah. But
Sometimes
I
the
just
mango boom, they're gone too.
find it
Ooh.
something else. For 20 years, there's always 2, but only 2.
If nobody kills them, they tell me that they mate for life, and they'll mate in the same place every
As
year.
I understand.
I've got 3 ponds on my properties, and if the coons don't eat the nest up, we've got so many coons they can't hardly nest anymore. But they fight. I hate February and early March because they fight over nesting sites. It's just solid squealing of Canadian geese. But we got about 1,000. I'm on the end about a 2,000 acre lake here, and we got about 1,000 just local geese, that stay here year round anymore.
You ever
What's the
heard some-
lifespan of a Canada goose?
They tell
I
me
don't
it's
know.
about 12, 15 years.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a while.
I thought it was
That's
about,
hearsay on my part. I don't kill nothing but time anymore. But
That might be why it tastes bad, Mike. You had an old one.
Yeah.
Oh, you would have loved to seen that hunting show.
It's Carl.
look at there's
Well,
Carl.
They were out in the hayfield, and we drove into the hayfield, and then I got out and loaded the gun and walked alongside the truck. Kept edging closer and closer to them until they started to change direction. Then my buddy took off, and I was sitting there wide open. I let fly. I got 3 of them. Grabbed the first one, grabbed the second one, threw them in the truck. One had flown across the field. We're driving around to go get it. And I look in the back of the truck, and one of them's walking around the back of the truck. Apparently, I didn't get it good enough. That was my first day of goose hunting and my last day.
Gotta put my dog out, Joey. Oh. Come on, buddy. Let's see why you want out now.
Now, how'd they figure it was 33 years?
I don't know.
In captivity?
Yeah,
They
probably
count the
captive
rings, I
goose.
guess.
Yeah.
It says wild. It says it was a wild goose.
Maybe they had a tag on it.
Maybe they banded it.
Maybe they were on a wild goose chase, and that's how they figured it
Oh
out.
my God, Bob.
Brad brought it up.
Was a wild goose chase. That's just what Google said.
You've had too much table time, Bob.
Goodness.
The sun killed me today. It was like 87.
Oh, we had 41. And
Tomorrow's
we may
gonna be
get
in the
we're
80s
dusting
again.
to an inch tonight and more snow tomorrow.
More snow tomorrow?
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I'm hoping for rain. I'm hoping I don't have to go put the plow back on. Took it off Friday after being on since December 1st.
I've got to jerk my forming pads off tomorrow. Time for about halfway through my treatments.
See what I got today?
Yeah.
For Roxanne?
That's what they gave me for showing up
we're at bee meeting.
at that little workshop I went to, the beginners thing.
Hey,
I
Carl.
bought some last year.
That's those extended release pads, the Roxanne
Yeah.
on the extended release oxalic acid. I haven't had very good luck with them myself personally, but that's probably probably operator error on my part.
Yeah, I left them in the package on the stairs all summer, so mine didn't.
I
go
talked
at all.
to Kent about it. I know Kent down there pretty well, and I talked to him at St. Louis there, Charlie.
Yeah.
And I put mine on in the fall, and I was feeding, and my bees, and then they never touched the fondant. Did I put the extended release pads on? And I did them half and half. This is an experiment because I'd never used them before. And the ones I put the half of this one bee yard, I treated with the Roxanne. The other half I didn't treat at all. They cleaned up about 4 pounds. The one I didn't treat, the ones that I had the Roxanne on, they never touched the fondant. I don't know why, but Kent says don't do it in the winter time. You're going to use that extended release.
I was teaching beginners.
During the winter months. So
Well, I wonder if that affects the when you put it when there's a honey flow coming in.
Another South Carolinian.
What's that?
Somebody in there said hello from South Carolina. Probably my neighbor. I don't know where he's from.
Sunny mixing, yeah.
You're supposed to have good weather tomorrow, Bob?
Yeah, it's supposed to be in the 80s again tomorrow and Monday.
I'm playing with strong microbials, Carl. I got bee bites on there, and they're eating them up, and I put a little bit of super DFM on about once a month. We'll see how it goes.
I don't know. People use it pretty strongly. Some of the big boys say it's good stuff. I've used it. I don't know. I can't tell if it does any difference on my bees, to be honest with you.
What's that?
Super DFM.
Yeah. I haven't, I mean, I can't tell you either.
No, I haven't kept track of it. I just throw it on there because you're supposed to, I suppose.
I bring it with me and I keep forgetting to put it on.
Yeah. That's
After
what
I cut the camera off, I go back and put it on.
Yeah, the only thing I can tell you is that having brand new queens in the hive definitely make a difference. I've been in my bees today, and you could. I'm seeing what I want to see, in my hives now. As far as, except for I had a couple of them that had queen problems. I had one was a 24 queen, and it died through the winter time. So they had bees in there, so hopefully I'll make a queen.
Good dog.
I don't do the 801. I'm not around sprays and stuff per se, as far as like pollination type things. I just use a straight super DFM. My big thing is viral loads and see whether or not that will help with that. Yeah, if you have extended release, you can use that on the honey flow.
That's a lot of propolis.
The only thing I can say is I put Hive Alive in that last batch of sugar water I just made, and they sucked that stuff down. I don't know what it
You
just
think it's because of the Hive Live or because it's sugar water and it's spring?
Well, I put some other sugar water on there, and they didn't take it down like as fast as he did it with the Hive Alive. I think maybe it might be the lemongrass in it, maybe.
Was that in top feeders or buckets?
No, quart jars.
Quart jars?
Hive Alive went down within 3 days. It was gone. I've had some other stuff that I put on in quart jars, and it'd sit there for a week.
I've got the quart jars figured out as far as the holes in the lid I need. But I'm still working with these buckets. They're still taking it down too slow. I need to drill a little bit bigger hole in it, I think.
No, to be honest with you, this is the first year I've ever fed in the springtime. I normally just
I don't feed a lot.
I feed in the fall and fill them up, and then get them through the winter time and let them go right into spring by themselves. And so this year I, tried to, where they build them up and make sure the jelly in the frames are nice and juicy looking, with a lot of nutrition, and it's looking good, I have to say, and all that. So
how are your splits looking, Bob?
Do what?
How are your splits looking?
Well, they all have queens in them. I think one of them looked like it had some small larvae in it, so I think she's back and laying. The other two either are back and haven't started laying yet, or they haven't flown out yet. But all the pro nukes that I checked all had queens in them, so it's a promising sign right now.
So they made it through that cold night.
Yep. I put enough bees in there, enough enough split, right? A big enough split. So the only ones that didn't really do good were the smaller ones that I was doing. They didn't do too good, but the big ones did good. And we'll see how they look this week. And if I need to, make some more splits to keep them down a little bit.
Yeah. Now the only thing about like the juice jars, I mean, I did have them on there when we had them cold snaps at like about 20 or 30 some degrees at night, and I was a little bit concerned about that. So maybe that slowed them up, taking it down. Things are getting warmer now.
5-minute warning. Jerry's like, we're calling in 5 minutes.
It's kind of hard to do sometimes. You got a good conversation going on.
I just, after doing it so long, I'm just like, okay, we're done for tonight. See you later.
That's just about what I'm fixing to do. Say, see y'all later, because I'm wore flat strap out. I'm telling you.
Tom's mentor. What I think I'm going to be doing, maybe starting next Saturday, is 7:30 again, since the evenings are getting longer and we're all still outside.
Yep.
May just start going at 7:30. What you think?
That'd be great. I'd say.
It worked good last year.
Yeah. My farm guests, I left them at the farm. They were still loading. They're headed back for the dirty side just tonight. I told them he's welcome to stay, or they're both wore out. I'm afraid they'd have.
Yeah, they had plenty of room to sleep on the ground, didn't they?
Well, they got plenty of places to stay out there also.
Yeah.
Joey, you're going to start what, a half an hour earlier?
Later.
Actually, 7:30 Central Time, a half hour later.
All right, so it'd be 8:30.
It's still good and daylight at 7 o'clock here, so everybody's still kind of hanging around outside. You know,
I'm an hour ahead of you, so it's going to be 8 o'clock is fine for me, but it's dark. But actually, it's 7 o'clock here for your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, John. Let's see. What was it? Let's see. You got that's John out there at West Cliff. Yeah, John. From what I gather, you're going to post a calculator or something.
I think he did, didn't he? Didn't he post one?
I don't know. I mean, I've already, that's one thing I made him. I mentioned my videos that just base it on 10 grams per gallon, and like if you do it 10 gallons, it's 100 milliliter, or not grams, but milliliters. And like normally when I do my fall feedings, which are 40 gallons, it would be 400 milliliters, because the bottle that's coming in is gradual. It's a metric bottle. It's what it amounts to. I found it better to just keep it as metric. Right, Brad?
That's right.
Keep
it math.
I figured it out that
it's math easy.
1 liter equals 100 gallons, which is 10 milliliters per gallon.
What the hell are you talking about? A liter is 100 gallons? Is that what you just said?
Well, what gets me about Hive Alive is, if you look on their bottle, let's say it's a 2-liter bottle.
Here we go.
It'll say 200. It'll feed 200 hives.
I got 2 minutes left.
And that's not what it really, what they're thinking is you're only going to give that hive a gallon. It's 200 gallons, not 200 hives.
That don't make no sense, because they don't know how much I'm going to feed to my colonies.
That's right. And then they kept doing English measurements as teaspoons.
Yeah,
teaspoons per gallon. And I read somewhere they had it in parentheses, equals 10 milliliters. Well, hell, 10 times more, so much easier. I went to Walmart, got myself a 4-cup measure that's got milliliters on the side.
Yeah.
Port exactly to the line, and you're dead on.
If you can stick to metric, the math is so easy. But
well, see, that was like
when
I was riding Ambo and being a paramedic, and when I'm doing drug doses, and everything is in cc's and stuff like that. Converting is where you get screwed up. Just stick to the one thing, and and then it makes sense.
That's right. I always do my drugs in metric too.
Oh goodness.
Grams and kilos and
30 seconds.
A lot of times I'd have especially in kids, you had to convert everything by weight. So 2.2 grams per the body weight, and
I could have probably had an adult dose.
And well, there was another one there. I forget what the medication was. What it was, sodium bicarb or what? Yeah, it was like 1 milligram per kilo, 1 meal equivalent per 1 kilogram. I think of what it was, and that's how much you shoot. And
hey, Big Mike, I got a question for you. Well, no,
yeah.
I'm going to tell you. You know how when people talk about the old days and they have stories that start with when I was little. Those stories. I don't have any stories like that.
Yeah, I couldn't play Pop Warner football because it was too big.
2 yards to a gallon.
All right. Appreciate everybody coming in.
Thank you.
See y'all next weekend, and y'all everybody over here just hang on.
Yeah.
Night, everybody.
Jeff Oshaw says, "Thank you, Jesus." Got all that.
Thank you, Jesus.